changes. Shows what lies ahead. I'm on a midnight bike ride. Their shoulders 2 a.m. Left you behind. How could you think we could just be friends again? I'm on a midnight bike ride. Their shoulders 2 a.m. Left you behind. Now that you know things can never be the same. I'm on a midnight bike ride. Their shoulders 2 a.m. Left you behind. How could you much I missed you. Hope you're planning to stay for a million days. You'll be my summer in December. Hey boy, trust my intuitions always. I'm not superstitious, I got lucky. Stole your heart and it was mine for the taking. I'm bad at pretending, you know I'll be true. Sunday mornings and midnight lights turn into songs that you watch me write. Stole your sweater on that night. You took a picture, keep by my bedside. So you're mine when you're gone, baby, please don't be long. I got my ticket to the west side. You say my name with your accent, makes me remember how much I missed you. Hope you're planning to stay for a million days. You'll be my summer in December. Hey boy, trust my intuitions always. I'm not superstitious, I got lucky. Stole your heart and it was mine for the taking. It was mine for the taking. It was mine for a million days, in a million ways. Stole your heart.
I mean, Koba and David.
Hello and welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Today we have the Garden State Rocket League Championships on our hands. Quite the interesting event as it is a middle school Rocket League Championship going on. Just awesome to see how far esports has gotten all the way down to the middle school level. We've had high school events and now we're getting to even younger, which sometimes means even more talented in esports, which is just absolutely wild. I'm Michael Fish Fisher, joined by Artie Nerdy Bird Rain to call all of our action here today. Nerdy Bird, and it is just wild to see that we now have middle school teams supporting esports at this level and having their own championships.
Well, I mean, this is one of those, I hate to say it, but like blessing in disguise because of COVID-19 moments. I feel like the esports kind of movement and recognition on like across the board definitely has increased because of COVID. So it's really exciting to see that in this process, we've made it all the way down to the middle school leagues and have been able to bring esports to them. And honestly, even though they're middle schoolers, I'm not going to use that as a judgment for any form of skill that might be coming out of this, because some of the best Overwatch players are like 12 years old right now.
Yeah, it really does feel like somehow the younger the player, the even better they are. I mean, you have 8-year-olds hitting Challenger and League of Legends. It's all absolutely insane. So we'll have that. It is a very interesting format that I'm sure will remind people throughout the day because it is totally unique to what's going on here. Usually Rocket League, just 3 players on each side. It's a best of 5. This time it is 15 players, or up to 50 players on each side. They call it the conquest format. They divide those players into 5 teams, and those teams will each play a best of 3 series. So your A team plays their A team, B versus B, C versus C, all the way down the line until every team has played, and then the winner of those overall best of 5s is the actual champion. So it's a very unique format, Nerdy, that is totally designed to get more people involved in the esports community, which is great because Rocket League is a very inclusive game because there's only 3 people on a side, unlike other games that have 5, 6, and even more.
Yeah, so I mean, like at first when I heard 15 people per side, I was a little, I don't know, it sounded overwhelming, but I mean, you're right. It is the way to go about including more people in Rocket League, because if we just stick with three people per team, which is, you know, kind of the standard, even though there is 2v2s, you don't have a very large team.
Yeah, and then that would bring me to our question before we have our special interview, before we get started, Nerdy, is how would you, if you were a coach on one of these teams, organize your team? Because you don't have to have all your good players on the A team and then go A through E skill-wise. You could kind of mix it up. So would you just do, all right, A's my best team, B's second best, C's third best? Would you mix it up? Would you maybe go reverse? I mean, how would you organize your team if you're a coach? Because there is a lot of strategy involved in figuring out a way to win, because if you only have two talented teams, your third and fourth team might actually end up losing.
Well, then you got to take a look at like the skill set of each player and make sure you've got like one good person for like setting up and lining up shots, one person who is, very good at keeping the aggression high or calling like rotations, and one person who's good on defense. And yeah, not everyone's going to be as great at all of those across the board, but you try to balance it out across the teams as best you can so that there isn't one team in your group that's like, oh yeah, this is our shining star squad, the rest of you, good luck.
Well, let's actually throw this question over to Doc Haskell, the Boise State coach. He has a ton of teams, and, usually it's like, all right, you've got your one Overwatch squad, you got your other Overwatch squad, sometimes there's overlap. But, Doc, 15 players on a Rocket League team, how would you make your 5 teams?
All right, so it's really not as complicated as some folks are making it. Hey, everybody, this is fun having a little third seat out here. Apparently, I'm being lit by subway lights, but that's okay. Thank you, David, for trying to get that dialed in. Okay, so essentially, this is exactly the same as tennis or swimming, any type of squad scheduling format, right? You know who your high performers are. You know where your good teams are. But if you just place those folks against equal skill, more than not, you're going to come out on an odd side of that. So what you need to do is you need to place players in the structure where they can be successful, or 50-50, or a learning opportunity. So I think some of the good coaches, we've got 2 amazing coaches here. They're going to split their players up. They're going to create strong combinations. They're going to create unique or interesting combinations where something special could happen. But they're going to emphasize a handful of the matchups and basically play the probabilities. Yeah.
I like that. Now, we've talked about you recruiting when we've had these high school events. How does that incorporate with middle schools? I mean, you're recruiting for what, like class of 2030 at this point? We don't even know, if I'm going to be here, let alone if you're going to be here, if this building's still going to be standing, if we're all going to be online. I mean, how do you approach these events?
Well, Nerdy knows, as strange as it may sound, we had a scrimmage last night and had a recruit, potentially, for the class of 2024.
Wow.
Outstanding GM main tank, 14-year-old young woman from Pennsylvania. She was fantastic having in the group with us. But that's kind of where we are, right? We want them to be thinking about where they might go to college long before they have to make a decision, or that we might officially recruit them. It's not like, we're trying to get a middle schooler to sign on the dotted lines. But I guarantee you that some of the players that play today are going to end up on our big board, right? Potential class of 2025, and we're going to just keep tabs and see what's going on with these folks and see if there's an opportunity to bring in some of those folks just to start having discussions when the time is right. Middle school probably a little bit too early, but if they get an opportunity to see what's happening in their just in their game and in their world, parents and teachers and advisors start to come online like, oh, this could actually be a thing. It's no different than talented middle school football or basketball players starting to project ahead to the possibility that they might want to go to school somewhere.
Now, as I say, Doc, you would not be the first coach, shout out Lane Kiffin, to offer an 8th grader a scholarship, so you don't have to worry about being a trendsetter in that department. And what do you want to see in the growth of middle school esports? Because, right, we talked about how the formats are built around including people, trying to put as many people on a team. Is that what you want to see? Do you want it to eventually just become a skill development? What do you want it to eventually get out of middle school esports, just long-term for the growth of esports as a whole, not for Boise State, not for recruiting, just for the growth of esports as a whole?
Honestly, I take a lot of notes from the gentleman who put this together today. Chris Avias is a Boise State grad. And is the reason that this New Jersey, he and the people who've been working closely with him, the reason that the Garden State event is even happening. So one of the things that he is adamant about is developing out a structure, a skill structure, so that coaches, teachers in many cases, who know a little bit about the games, can be great leaders in the game without having to be the experts in the games. And so developing out that curriculum is a big part of, I think, what will help jump this to the next level, because with every good player, you need good leadership and not just a Wild West of, hey, figure it out, you know this game, no one else does. He's been key in developing that process.
That's honestly the coolest part of the fact that you said it's a former Bronco. So clearly Boise State is lead the charge all over the field, which is just absolutely awesome. As we said, it's the Garden State Rocket League Championships getting ready to go here just momentarily. We're having our interview with Doc Haskell talking about, just a wild format, the fact that middle schoolers are now playing sanctioned esports. All absolutely insane to me. And Doc, what would you give your advice to the coaches going into a championship? You've coached a couple of championships in the Mountain West. What would you tell these coaches going into these first couple games?
Especially this game, it's about action reaction, and so you just got to just jump in and play. Things are going to go right. Things are going to go wrong. That doesn't matter. What does matter is how you manage the information that you get, right? How you manage a goal that you missed and they ran it back and scored. You have to be able to let those things go in Rocket League very quickly. It's a game that is not that does not get any benefit from being over emotionally charged, right? You can't influence your speed with your adrenaline. You can't influence how hard you hit with your adrenaline. You can only make more dramatic mistakes. So finding that Csikszentmihalyi flow position where you are elevated attention but below panic is the key.
Now, I want to ask Nerdy this question because you were on some of those championship teams that we were talking about with Doc. But in your case, if you lost game one, you were up to bat in game number two. You had to atone for your own mistakes. In this one, if your A team loses, it's now on your B team to come there and kind of make up for your loss. So how would you tell the players of a team that lost and that doesn't get a chance, how would you tell them to support their teammates? What can they do? Because it's unlike most games where, hey, all right, we lost on Control, for example. Now we've got to go to 2CP. In Overwatch, it's, we lost our game. Now an entirely different squad has to come in and make up for that. So what would you tell these players if they lose a game? How do they support their team and still stay in it when they're not actually going to play again?
Okay, so I'm gonna be reaching out into my other athletic, history here to get some help with how to handle this, because I don't know about you, but I played a lot of softball when I was growing up, and I was an outfielder. That was my strong suit, and then I was also a power hitter. So then, I was 13th in the batting lineup for when we needed to be using someone to clear out the bases, and my main job was, make sure they don't get a lot of free, double hits, and, that was it. So I was on the field for a good majority of the time, and if we, had a 7-run inning and we had to close it out and rotate and swap and go into the batting lineup, the first batter probably wasn't out on the field, and therefore was pretty grumpy that we had just had a 7-run lead put onto us. But at the end of the day, they're like, all right, all I can do is do my job, and that is, hit the ball and get it as far as I can and try and score a run. So that's how you have to look at it, is their job was to do their best in that first game, and now it's your job to do your best in this next one, regardless of how that first game went. Yeah,
it's just a really interesting situation now. If for whatever reason, I don't know the full rosters for these championships, they don't have 15 players. They are allowed to repeat players. They can't, of course, stack it, so you can't have your A team play 3 times. You could go A, B, C, A, B. So there are some very nice rules that they have put in place here to make sure that you don't just get a team that's like, oh, man, it really stinks. We only have 9 players. We're just going to play our A squad 3 times and win. So I do like that. Now, back to you, Doc. We know at Boise State you coach, a couple of Overwatch teams, I think about 3 League of Legends teams, a couple of Rocket League teams. Would you be able to maintain all of the hair on your head if you had 5 teams in each of those esports?
There is no chance. I'm barely hanging on to what I have. Don't you start, Nerdy.
I'm sorry. It's just, I've known this man since before this program started, and you brought up the hair.
I know Doc has enough, how do we juggle it? For the Overwatch team, they have 7 players. He can only play 6. Imagine having 15 and be like, all right, how do I make team A? I'm worried for your sanity if this becomes mainstream.
Here's what I think we're seeing a lot of here is the coaches, good coaches are going to rely heavily on the experience of their players. It's not on the coach to know everything at all times, but it is on the coach to pull out the knowledge that they have, take that knowledge and help them organize it in a way that everybody understands what's going to happen, right? It's not to generally create the strategy, but to help facilitate the strategy that everybody understands that we're going to move forward with. And when necessary, pick one, right? There's a couple of great ideas come forward. Let's talk about, okay, we're going to go with this one. So I think these coaches probably have taken some real hints from their players about which are the better matchups, which are the ones that, hey, we definitely can win this with this combination, or, well, this one may be, we'll see what happens, right? That's always an okay approach if you've expired or exhausted all of the other opportunities in your brain. It's okay to say, well, let's go with this. It's our best guess. Let's see what happens. My guess is that these great coaches are doing exactly that. They're leaning in on their players' knowledge.
Yeah, speaking of the players, we can start with you, Doc, because you're the coach here. You've seen middle school, as you mentioned, 14-year-olds in some of the scrims. Of course, you recruit high schoolers. What should the fan tuning in who's maybe used to Boise State's Rocket League play, the blue and the orange team, what should they expect from middle schoolers today? Should they, of course, I don't know if we can say they can expect the Baynock Cosmo level of play, but what should we expect in terms of comparing to Boise State? Are they right behind the orange team? Are they maybe even equal with the orange team? Are they equal with the blue team? What should we expect in terms of skill level from middle schoolers in esports?
Well, I don't know that the comparisons. I don't know how the comparisons make up. Here's what I think that you're going to see. You're still going to see rotations. You're still going to see aerial plays. I don't think you're going to see as high or as often as this aerial volleying that sometimes takes place. Right? Mm-hmm. I think you're going to see some great saves. I think you're going to see some double commits. We see those in our games all the time, in college games all the time. You're going to see some breakdowns in communication and some open goal situations. I think some of those will be capitalized on. I think some of them won't. I think you're going to also see some really special play by a handful of folks. And I think we're in for a treat. The game still operates the same way, right? Mm-hmm. It is still about boost management, positioning, communication about where the ball is and where you are and what you can and can't do, and taking good shots. I think we'll see some passing as well. I think we'll see the game that we normally see. It may just not be as high flying as we sometimes see it. It may be more ground based, but I could be totally wrong and totally surprised, and likely I'll still be writing some names down on the big board when we're done.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy to see how good these players are. And for you, Nerdy, unfortunately, board probably 5-6 years too late. Obviously you made it to a collegiate esports program. How good do you think you could have been had you been able to play starting in middle school in a competitive environment? I'm sure players, you were playing some kind of game when you were in middle school, but could you imagine if you had an Overwatch team you had been playing with since middle school? How much better do you think that could have made you by chance?
So I was that closet Call of Duty middle school kid who was at home every night. I had a best friend. We would play Call of Duty from 9 to 11 o'clock Pacific time every night of the week together. And my parents strongly encouraged the athletic side of my interests. So I played tennis, I did track, I did soccer, I did softball, basketball, all that jazz. I was actually decent at basketball, but I'm short. But if my parents had known about the opportunity to transition this hobby of playing video games, the thing that they knew I dedicated a lot of time to, but it was still hobby mode, had an organized, an actual organized event or organizations behind it at such a young age for me, they probably would have actually encouraged me to do that instead of continuing to do athletics that I kind of only did just to make them happy, and they were fully aware of it because they wanted me to have experiences in those games. But at the end of the day, I got to high school and I was like, I don't want to keep doing this.
Yeah, those traditional sports when you and I were growing up are okay, if you want to find a way to a college scholarship, it's either good grades or get a scholarship, some kind of full ride or whatever, depending on the sport. In that, I couldn't even imagine how much different it would be and how much different it is right now for, a kid to come home and say, hey, mom and dad, I have the ability to play Overwatch and I can turn that into a college scholarship. I don't need to go outside anymore. I'm just going to play with my friends and do what I already do. So it's just absolutely crazy to me. I just couldn't even imagine what my home conversation would have been. It's instead of, well, get off the computer. You've already been there for too long. It's but I could earn a scholarship doing this. Isn't that what you want in the long run? Don't you want to save money? So absolutely crazy to me how fast this has grown. You mentioned you've been at Boise State before this. This was a program. Now we have middle school programs run by former Broncos. It's all come almost full circle at this point.
It is coming full circle, and it is a little weird and a little crazy to think that, I think almost 5-6 years ago now, Doc was in our EdTech 202 or 203 course, and he said something about, hey, would you guys think an esports team would be pretty cool here? How about an Overwatch and League of Legends teams? And my whole class was like, yes, do it. And that following fall, the esports community and our esports organization actually started, and then the fall after that, I joined the team. So stuff's been crazy.
Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. As you said, it is the Garden State Rocket League Championships between two very talented middle schools. Absolutely wild to be hearing myself say that. It is coming up momentarily. As we said, it is a very unique format, a very interesting one. 5 different teams will be representing each middle school. They'll play each other in a best-of-3 match, and then the overall series is whoever wins the most of those matches. So, if your A, B, and C team win, we could see a 3-0. If we maybe get the A, C, and E team, however it works. I do think the one thing that this does have, assuming both teams have 15 players, as we talked about Nerdy, there's a chance that maybe one team only has 9, so they go A, B, C, A, B. Usually we have to talk between matches about, okay, what adjustments would you make? Sometimes when a team is a lot better, it's a stomp. It really doesn't matter what the other team can do. We don't know what we're going to see going into the next match because we haven't seen these players before. So it's going to make it really interesting for us to be like, okay, well, Burnett High School won or Burnett Middle School won the first one, but now we don't know what their B team is. It's going to be really interesting to see how that works as opposed to, okay, we know their style, we know exactly how they want to play.
It's going to be like a constant mixed bag of what are we going to get next.
Yeah, because, usually we can be like, okay, Cosmo Baynock, they just have to do this. Or Thunderama and Circuit, they just have to do X in this next game to win. Now it's like, well, that was a really good game. Was that their best players? Was that their, medium players? Doc kind of said making all the teams equal. I would maybe be of the mindset of maybe being a little bit tricky and maybe making my better teams the back-end teams because, I think some coaches might say, okay, we'll put our A team here, B team here. So I do think that is the case. But for now, we're going to take a break. We'll hopefully be back with game number 1 right after this.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Legend. Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons
I
I've
guess you
learned
could,
over
like,
the
turn
years.
around over there.
Friendships come in all
that's
shapes and
basically what
sizes.
I'm gonna do.
And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Hello and welcome back into the Boise State Esports Arena, right around the corner from the start of the Garden State Rocket League Championships between two very talented middle schools. Fish and Dirty Bird here. Get ready to call all of our action between these two teams. It is the Barbarians, it is the Lions, the Burnett Middle School Barbarians, the Thorne Middle School Lions. Take each other on in the Garden State Esports Rocket League Championship. Going to have up to 5 series of a best of 3, so a little bit longer as well than what we're used to. Nerdy Bird is usually it's just 5 games. Now we could actually have up to 15 games today, so just even going to be a whole lot more, not really fatigue on the players, because as we talked about before the break, it could be 5. It could be just 3 different players every single game.
I mean, yeah, they could be 3 different players every single game, but if they don't have enough players, as we established, they could be playing like maybe 2-3 games, possible. That might gas some of them, but we're going to get gassed.
Yeah.
We definitely need to make sure we're drinking enough water and not going to get our vocal cords too aggravated during the course of this event.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely in for the long haul. It's the players that might not, as we see here, we're the standings through the round robin. The Lions pretty far ahead in Group B with a 7-1 record, right ahead the Vikings and the Knights, who are both at 6-2. We see Burnett there was tied at 7-1 with the Pirates, and Burnett ended up winning in the playoffs. Definitely feels like the Lions came through the tougher group. As you see, there's some 6-2s, there's some 5-3s. Meanwhile, you look in Group A, some 4-4s. Not really any other teams with that winning record, so maybe the Lions were the more battle-tested team in the round-robin regular season. We'll see if that translates to our championship here against Burnett.
I wish we had the opportunity to actually see some of these games in that round robin, or at least some highlights so we could anticipate what we'll be seeing. But as we mentioned before, it's going to be a completely mixed bag, so we don't know what we're going to get.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what we're going to get between game to game. We don't know what we're going to get going into it. These are 2 middle schools. I mean, like we said, I mean, some of the best esports players in the world, 13, 14, 15, 16, so that doesn't really mean anything when you hear middle school. I mean, you imagine your standard, soccer, football, volleyball, basketball, whatever. You're like, okay, you go in expecting it to be a little bit of, chaos. This could be absolutely insane, and we could come away with saying these players are absolutely next level. I can't even imagine what they're going to be like in 4 or 5 years if they do choose a collegiate path as their career. But I cannot wait to see, as we mentioned, up to 5 different teams to all play a best of 3. Whoever wins the most of those best of 3s in a sort of best of 5 format, if you will win the overall series and be crowned the Garden State champions here. I'm just really excited to get into it because I think the biggest thing I want to see is, 1, what Game 1 looks like, and 2, how much different that is from Game 2, where it's 3 completely new players.
Yeah, same here.
And the other thing that I'm curious on is, I know when they was watching them talk about how they created this, they're like, we're on the honor system. We hope someone doesn't stack the deck. I'll be curious if we maybe see someone with only 9 players who can maybe repeat a couple of teams, maybe beats out a team who only has 15, because I think it will be harder to get 15 equally talented Rocket League players as if you just got 9 and then repeated your best 6. So I'd be curious to see if we are going to see the champions here have 5 different teams, or maybe 3 or 4 teams, and then their best team gets a chance to repeat in Game 5. Because finding 15 talented players for anything is really, really hard.
I mean, they could try and, stack the deck, as you put it, and only have a limited roster. However, at least for the middle schoolers, I'd be a little bit concerned with how much mental fatigue they'd be experiencing towards the end of this kind of little mini tournament that we have going on right now, because I know for a fact that the players here get gassed after just a couple games, and that is because it takes a lot of mental focus and a lot of brain power in order to play these games. So if this isn't something that those students are used to, it could be really exhausting for them.
Yeah, I know in the regular season they said you could play the games all at the same time as long as you had a coach in each one. So, I mean, you all at some points couldn't play, say, oh, well, we got to play these 3, and then, okay, these 2 teams got to go back in, because, 6 games could be a lot of Rocket League. We rarely ever see a best of 7 in Rocket League. It's usually best of 5. So, yeah, you're right. If there are a team, I wouldn't say stacking the deck. I mean, you never know how many potential students you might have. I mean, in any sport in middle school, you kind of are like, I don't really like this that much. I'm going to kind of maybe bow out mid-season. So maybe they had something like that. But, yeah, I could see a team of 9 either doing really, really well, or like you said, Nerdy Bird, maybe like the players, the A and the B squad are like, all right, I'm playing 6 games a week, not to mention everything I'm playing at the house. Like, absolutely could just be a fatigue thing. So, I mean, you do bring up a good point that maybe 15 good players could beat 9 great players.
Yeah, and I mean, just the opportunity to give players an ability to relax, the option to take a break if needed on a roster that is larger sometimes does take a mental load off of people, so they don't feel nearly as pressured or stressed to perform to a level that they feel like they should be when they don't feel like they are. And so sometimes having that larger roster, even if it is not as high a skill tier as you would like, is beneficial.
Yeah, and the breaks is going to be interesting as well. Usually, if you are playing, maybe you have 9 teams, the A team, that could be like a 45-minute break as opposed to where we just get 60 seconds between games. So it's a very interesting format. I really do appreciate it. I can see why at the collegiate level it wouldn't make sense, but I do like, we're at the middle school level. It's more about encouraging participation and getting a kid who might eventually find his way into a collegiate program who's maybe the 15th guy on the roster right now. I do think it's a really awesome thing, as we heard from Doc in our interview. This is headed by a former Bronco, actually. So, I mean, you can clearly see that the good ideas, did not fall far from the tree, but they did end up in New York. So maybe the wind took them on a journey. But it is a really cool idea, and I really do like it. And I looked at their I mean, they have Overwatch, they have League of Legends, they have Fortnite. So, I mean, it's not just limited to Rocket League. They're branching out all over the place, which is just something I never heard of, because when I was in middle school, I don't know if I'd say taboo, but, you kind of knew the people who were like, all right, that guy's going to go home and play Call of Duty. That guy's going to go home and play WoW all night. That guy's going to maybe go play soccer. And, the guy playing soccer and football usually were a little bit more popular than the guy going home and playing WoW or Call of Duty. So it flipping on its head almost, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely. We were the club, the gamer club. We weren't the organized school event. There was the group of students that you always heard at lunch talking about Minecraft, and then the ones that were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering, and then, you had the cool kids. And now that's not how it works anymore, because playing video games is completely acceptable to everybody because we understand that it's fun.
Yeah, and I mean, as we talked about, just a sign of the times. I mean, it's kind of hard to go practice football, practice baseball, basketball with a mask on. Make sure you're still social distancing. These kids, as soon as school ends, hop right on the game with your team, which I would have guessed would be, you're probably queuing with these guys every night, and then you play with each other during the week. So definitely could be just, something that is getting really improved by everything that's gone on in the past year, which is just very interesting that esports has thrived on this. But we're getting ready to go in to game number 1 right around the corner here. It is Burnett Middle School, Thorne Middle School. Game 1 of our best of 3 is coming up in moments, Nerdy.
Yes, let's do this. Show me what you got.
Very excited. As we mentioned, a quick recap if you're just joining us. Up to 5 teams. They allow up to 15 players. We'll play a best of 3 between the A teams. That doesn't refer to skill. We're just going to call them the A teams. Then the B teams will play in a best of 3, C, D, and E. Whoever wins 3 of those 5 matches is the champion. So you might not see the same player twice. So if you see somebody who impresses you, make sure you remember that name, because you might not have a chance to see them. So it is a very interesting format. I'm really excited to see how it goes here as we get into game number 1 between the Barbarians and the Lions in what they call conquest format in the Garden State Rocket League Championships. And I think this first minute is going to be really telling to me of one team maybe stacked the deck versus one team maybe went with like the all-even, play. Because I think a lot of coaches are just the first thing you think of is like, all right, A team's going to be the best. B, A is going to be diamond. B is going to be plat. C is going to be gold down the line. I think this first minute is really going to tell me how these teams are set up skill-wise.
Well, we have the first kickoff go more in favor of the Lions. However, we're still going to have, I'm going to call you Uwu, unfortunately. So we've got Uwu over here showing some fancy tire work, getting the ball popped up over into the corner. But it looks like we've got a significant amount of double commits, even in this first 30 seconds happening for both these teams.
Yeah, see Uwu's going to double commit there with his teammate, the Big Kaiser, jumping out of the way. Daniel with a nice little play there. Shot on goal, turned away by Jersey Boy. He makes another great save on to Uwu. Ball now in the quarter there. Jersey Boy going to try and carry this one up. We do have a little bit more ground play than maybe we're used to seeing as A-Train's going to push it down towards midfield. Daniel going to turn around. He'll miss on that. So will the big Kaiser. Great opportunity for Uwu. You can definitely see he is one of the talented players with a double tap into the net.
That was beautiful, Uwu. Nicely done.
He is definitely the player that is most comfortable right now in the air, it feels like. What a great goal for him.
That was just a fabulous dribble. I want to see more of that.
Yeah, that was really good. It's definitely going to be a test for the Lions in blue to try and shut him down as Daniel's going to clear that one down to the corner. A-Train's going to have it near midfield. He'll pass it towards the center, but Uwu is there. Going to be able to clear that one away. He'll play it up off the wall. He's not have enough boost, though, to aerial that one into the net. The big Kaiser pushes it over. Daniel, though, gets it in the corner. Going to try and take a shot on net. A-Train hanging out in the goal, but the big Kaiser, double commit there, comes out. Jersey Boy tries to get a touch on it. Is able to make a great stop there. Loses it off the wall, though. A-Train with a nice shot. Is there a follow-up? No, there is not.
Thankfully, Uwu was there to help and get that ball across that center gap in the middle of the field in front of their own goal. That's always a risky play to be making, but they've got to bounce off the wall to themselves for their second consecutive goal of the game. Nicely done, Uwu.
Yeah, you can see his skill. He plays it around one, sets himself up perfectly. A-Train went for a little bit of a wider shot, but that's just such a hard place to be in if you are a goalie. So once again, going to be very, very key here for the Thorne Middle School Lions to find a way to shut down Uwu on the side of Burnett, because he right now feels like one of the better players.
Oh my goodness.
Wow! Put him on the big board already.
What? This player is just setting themselves up perfectly, and no one's stopping them. I hate to be that person to say that you might have to double commit on a player consecutively in order to shut them down, but sometimes you have to do that, and it's looking like Uwu might be one of those players.
Jersey Boy's going to miss that one. The big Kaiser is going to play it off the backboard. No one there, and Uwu will clear it all the way down. A-Train going to pinch it off the wall. Ends up centering it, though, for Daniel. His shot just punched wide. A-Train with a great opportunity. Pass over to the big Kaiser. They pass it, try to get it passed back, but it doesn't work. Uwu can test it. You see you've got Gamer sitting in the net. He hasn't had to do too much right now, as offensively the Lions have been pretty quiet. You see a miss there. A-Train's going to lose it. Jersey Boy is going to try and pinch it in the corner, but Uwu's there to keep it alive for the Burnett.
We've got A-Train once again trying to get this ball in the corner. Uwu, however, is not giving up on their offensive push right here. It does look like one of their teammates, I think that was Neil, also is trying to be down there in the net to help out a little bit, but with A-Train also is now managing to rotate the ball back. We have to have the Lions rotate towards their own net. We've got 3 of the Lions in their net just as Jersey is able to knock the ball away from Uwu.
Jersey now tries to push it upfield, but it gets knocked back. Uwu going to challenge the big Kaiser in the corner there, but he can't quite find it. Daniel keeps it alive. You can definitely see that Burnett has gone with that classic one guy always in the goal at all times. This Gamer's just hanging out back there. Hasn't had to do too much, but he might have an opportunity here to make a save, but Uwu's going to take care of that one near midfield. A-Train's going to dodge out of the way. That's an open net, and Uwu's going to get his 4th of the game.
I think Uwu just dribbled around 3 players. I'm trying to watch in the replay. Nope, didn't dribble around anybody, just kind of had a clean goal. Open goal opportunity, so the Lions need to work on a little bit of their rotations right now and making sure they're not leaving that net open. They've got a little less than 2 minutes to make up 4 goals, which isn't impossible, it's just going to be a little difficult.
Yeah, especially with that one going in. Daniel's going to score his first of the game, and unfortunately for the Lions, just this squad feels a little bit overmatched to what Burnett brought here for our first game.
That's okay. This squad for the side of, well, at least for Burnett, this might be their stacked squad, as we discussed. So maybe the Lions didn't put their best foot forward first, just trying to test the waters out. After all, it is a best of 5.
Yeah, we will play this in a best of 3, and then we'll have 4 more matches potentially to see who the winner. Yeah, it definitely feels like, I mean, and like we said, we don't even know who we're going to see. But, I mean, Uwu with a great aerial there. A-Train just barely clears it away, but he feels like the best player in this match, and you can see the amount of medals he has racked up to kind of prove that point. But A-Train and Jersey Boy have a chance. Not quite able to find it. Ball still bouncing in front of the net. Uwu will make a nice little clear there. The big Kaiser can't corral it. Now is a chance for Uwu to take a shot on net. Nice double commit, but it still results in a save. So Jersey Boy has to be happy with that result. He's now going to take a shot. Uwu is just all over the field. I mean, he's making shots and he makes a huge save.
Yeah, I'm looking at the boost management from both these teams. I can definitely tell that Burnett is doing a slightly better job at managing their own resources, as well as making sure that the Lions cannot get some of their own, because A-Train is left with no boost a lot of the time, and that is a resource you need to make sure that you are managing to ensure that, you know, the side of Burnett isn't outpacing you on the field.
And we see Uwu go in the goal there, able to make a nice save. Jersey boy not able to clear that one out. 30 seconds left here in our first game of the afternoon. Oh, nice shot for the big Kaiser, but Uwu makes an incredible save there. Really doing it all right now for the side of Burnett. And he looks like he might have a chance here at his 4th goal, but it gets turned away.
I mean, you know, your fourth goal not going in is not something I would be too upset about. The Lions are definitely now checking their defense more than anything else, just trying to make sure the score lead doesn't get any higher, as we see Daniel trying to corral the ball down towards the goal. Thankfully, it's going to be moved away by Jersey, and I do not believe Gamer is going to have enough boost but to knock the ball in the goal before the timer goes out.
So game 1 going to the side of Burnett. Pretty handily there, 5-0. We'll say just, you know, give credit where credit's due. That was actually Uwu looking for his 5th goal of that game. He scored 4 already, so even I discounted him on 1. I don't really know how much Thorne's going to be able to do. Don't forget that the beatdown at Boise State, while the regular season has wrapped up, we still have our finals right around the corner. Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in-person finals coming up this Saturday, hosted at Boise State University. You want to make sure you tune into that, see that the best of the Idaho fighting game community has to offer this Saturday with the in-person finals to wrap up the beatdown that went on all throughout February. It is the Garden State Rocket League Championships going into game 2 of our first series here with Fish and Nerdy Bird. And Nerdy, do you have any advice for Thorne? Because it does just feel like Uwu is maybe just a step ahead of everybody, and I mean, even double committing him at times did not work very well.
Okay, so there is this idea that I've been trying to instill on not only the players within the Overwatch game, but also students that I get to work with within my graduate program, and that is this not focusing on the outcome of the game, but focusing on the process that you perform throughout the game and getting to that game. So you need to focus on the improvement of the process itself. And Doc's keys to the game are basically the process of Rocket League. You need to have side control, boost management, olay those demos, as Doc likes to say, and keep those rotations clean. So all 4 of those points, you need to be working on those throughout the course of your game, even if it's a runaway gore schooling game and the other team is just too much ahead of you. Instead of focusing on the goals and the outcome of the game, focus on these aspects of it, because at the end of the day, these are what affect that game outcome more than anything else. And if you are losing, you need to be improving these, because then once you have, you know, improve these by maybe even just 5% in your own like mental records, across the board, 4 or 5% improvements, that's 20% improvement on your gameplay overall, and that is what you need to be focusing on. Is like, hey, I didn't leave an open net nearly as many times as I did during that first game. I didn't have a bunch of demolitions on myself because I managed to dodge them. That sort of thing is what you need to be focused on.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still plenty of time here. I mean, these players are still in middle school. I mean, there's still, you know, there are some players. I mean, I think, you know, you could probably attest to it from your middle school. There's guys who, you know, or girls who peaked at their athletic prime in middle school, and you're like, wow, we're never going to be able to beat them. And then you get to high school, and you're like, wait, is that the same person who was absolutely destroying us, and they didn't get any better? So, I mean, not to say Alkaline has hit their peak, but there's a chance that these other players are still on the up and up. I mean, who knows how long these people have been playing Rocket League. Some people might have been playing from the start. I know when it transitioned into being on the Epic Game Store, it got a lot more growth. When it went free to play, kind of going under that Fortnite banner. So maybe there's kids who are like, I play Fortnite, I like soccer, let's try out Rocket League. They join the team, and then they're going up against a guy like Uwu who maybe has played since the very beginning. So it's impossible to know how long these kids have been in it. It's a ton of fun. We're getting ready to go into game 2. As we said, hope is not lost for Thorne. There is still 4 potential matches. And there's a chance that we never see Uwu again. As we mentioned, there's up to 15 players on each team. They encourage to try and play as many people as possible, build that participation. So who knows? Like you said, maybe this was Burnett's stack team, and Thorne has just 5 really good, strong teams, and Burnett might just have 1 or 2 talented players.
Yeah, so, you know, got to keep your head up and keep going. We can't say anything just based off the first game, and even after everything's done, either side that comes out on top, hopefully the team that finishes in second place realizes, you know, you did a lot to get there too, so celebrate the fact that you've made it this far.
We kick off game number 2 here. The big Kaiser's going to try and clear it down. Daniel's going to play it off the wall. A-Train sees an opportunity, takes a shot on net, but of course Uwu is there as he reads it perfectly. Jersey Boy now can't quite play it around Daniel. A-Train charging in. Bit of a double commit there as he cuts off his own teammate. Uwu is going to get that demolition onto Big Kaiser, then clear this one out of his net. He's got Daniel who takes a shot, but Jersey Boy intercepts it near midfield.
Jersey Boy's doing a fantastic job of maintaining presence in the midfield to ensure that they're keeping the side pressure up for Burnett Middle School right now, so that they aren't having the opportunity to flip over from the defensive push into an offensive push. And A-Train's also doing a much better job, at least this time around, maintaining their boost management so that they aren't left dead in the water when the ball does rotate over towards the blue side.
Yeah, I do think the one thing that Thorn can maybe capitalize on here is it does feel like Uwu's trying to do just a bit too much. We see him back in the net even when they have Gamer there waiting for a shot. So maybe force him out of position. You can actually have a good attempt here as they had it a wide open net, but the big Kaiser just barely misses on it. Uwu's shot. Oh, hits it off the crossbar. Follow up from Daniel, not going to go. Great chance here for Thorn to maybe capitalize. See Uwu already retreating into the net. Daniel's going to clear that one away, though. Oh, nice bump.
Oh, Jersey Boy. Nicely done.
This is a big assist here to Big Kaiser. Not only for that pass, knocks Uwu out of the way, can't recover in time.
Strategic. That even though it did not result in a demolition, I feel like that was metered aggression right there coming out from the Big Kaiser on that push.
Oh, what a play from Uwu. Great pass over to Gamer. They're not going to be able to find the back of the net, but the kickoff pressure already very strong. Now the Big Kaiser has an opportunity. See Uwu back on the top of the backboard. He tries to clear it away. He'll get it just over Jersey Boy. Daniel now racing down. Uwu going to try and assist there. Great demolition onto Gamer to stop that offensive possession.
We've got A-Train over here looking at the ball, trying to get it away from the side of Burnett, but it looks like Uwu is just managing to maintain a little more speed than everybody else, but the bump coming out from Jersey in the air is going to give them possession on the side of Orange as we see Gamer trying to catch up and grab the ball away from, well, never mind. Uwu's got it back at the midfield with Gamer following up, but Jersey's going to pop up into the air and knock the ball back to the mid, sending it over to the Big Kaiser.
Gamer gets his first shot of the series. Uwu's going to clear that one away from the Big Kaiser, and now he's going to have an opportunity here. A-Train's going to rotate over.
That dribble!
Oh, what a save by A-Train, though. Totally shuts down Uwu, then steals the ball away from his own teammate there. Double taps it off the wall to himself, but the Big Kaiser's going to be able to clear it.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, trying to do too much can be non-beneficial to your own team, and I feel like Uwu needs to be careful as I say that they come in and manage to score a goal, but there was a double commit and they did steal the ball away from their own team. Hopefully that was being communicated and it wasn't just I'm gonna be, doing everything type of deal. You do have to be supporting your teammates and let your teammates support you. It is a 3v3 game, not a 1v3 game.
And unfortunately, Thorn tried a very risky back pass into their own net. You never want to hit the ball towards your own goal if you can avoid it. You see two members of Burnett run into each other. This game's now tied at 1 with 2 minutes left. If Burnett's able to pick up the win here, they would be up 1-0 in our overall series. Thorn trying to send us to a game 3, but there's Uwu right on time. Put for the Barbarians back in the lead.
A 1-score differential lead, though, is a good game of soccer. It is not too much here in the realm of Rocket League, because as we have seen multiple goals get scored within a 30-second time frame, we still have almost 2 whole minutes here, so it's still anybody's game.
Kickoff starts right now. Jersey Boys going to try and clear it down. Uwu in perfect position. Right over to A-Train, though, who dribbles it around perfectly. Doesn't have quite enough boost to redirect the ball on that open net, but he does center it well off the backboard. Double commit does come out from Daniel and Uwu. Jersey Boy pass over to the Big Kaiser. He's got a great opportunity. No, he went in too hard and just unfortunately hit a little too high. But there's a great shot from A-Train.
A-Train exploded and still got the goal. That's always a great feeling.
Yeah, you're going to see Uwu just a second too late, but A-Train will gladly pay that price to tie it up with 1:24 and keep Thorn's chances alive here of winning this first series, or at least getting us to a third game. Uwu, though, almost goes for the double tap. Can't quite find it. Out of position, but he's able to recover before Thorn can punish. Now we see him retreating back into the net. Jersey Boy's going to try and do it himself. Daniel with a great clear there. Gamer's going to pop it up in the air. Uwu's going to corral it near midfield, has it down in the corner. Big Kaiser can't quite find it. Uwu plays it around another one. This could be the 1-on-3 you were prophesizing early in Ernie Bird, but he loses it now. There's a minute left.
But we've got A-Train down here with a decent amount of boost. Never mind, they are completely out. Not enough to follow up and save their own ball. Sending it back to Uwu, who is now at the midfield. Big Kaiser has the ball in their possession, but we also have Daniel right here trying to keep the attack alive on the side of Fluke. Big Kaiser's going to clear it off to the side. Daniel's going to swoop back in and manage to just dribble it back to the center. But Uwu is not, actually a little bit slow this time. Uwu manages to pass it back. The Big Kaiser's keeping the ball alive over in the corner. Uwu does a backup to bump the ball back into the air, trying to prevent just anyone really from having a great amount of possession right now as we get just under 20 seconds left.
Daniel's great opportunity, gets hit out of the way. It's crazy. Uwu will make a great save, and then somehow he'll be on the offensive end and vice versa. He makes a great play there. 8 seconds left. Oh, A-Train shot just goes wide. 3 seconds. We'll see if anyone can carry it across the field. The answer is no, and we're headed to overtime.
Overtime, so we got golden goal opportunity. I have not seen any attempts at a kickoff goal thus far, and neither will this 50-50 kickoff go for one of those, as we see Daniel trying to get possession of that ball and ends up in front of the Big Kaiser over at the orange net. Jersey's going to try to knock the ball away. Is just barely going to miss it. A-Train's there, however, to send it back to the midfield, but with this ball in the air going over to the corner, we do have Alkaline trying to get on to Big Kaiser's heels, and they managed to do it with a demolition, knocking it across their side of the field, sending it back towards the mid. Uwu is doing a whole heck of a lot, just trying to prevent anyone else from getting this ball, dribbling it in the air, but there is a huge save from the Big Kaiser.
Yeah, it looked like Uwu was going to end this one in overtime, but a great save by the Big Kaiser, as you mentioned. Now is another opportunity for him. Doesn't quite have as much boost as he probably would have liked there this time, so he's going to have to fall back. Big Kaiser now at midfield, one-on-one. Can he aerial it in? Pass down to Jersey Boy, but Uwu's going to intercept that one. And take it all the way down to the other side. He'll rattle it around the net. Great save, though, made by A-Train as Daniel was charging in. Alkaline can't keep it alive. Doesn't look like a great chance for Thorn as the ball's in the corner, and Alkaline's going to be able to clear it.
Alkaline's not only clearing it, but they are dribbling it off the wall to themselves. However, the disruption coming out from the side of the lines was just enough to end that push going forward from Uwu. Uwu's trying to still keep the push happening, but Daniel's going to manage to get the ball at the midfield right here. But we do see Big Kaiser now pushing the ball towards the side of Orange with a double commit at the goal from both of the Orange players, with leaving Jersey the opportunity to score that goal in overtime.
Yeah, it was actually a triple commit now that we see the replay that came out from Burnett. And very rarely are triple commits a good thing, Nerdy, when we see that happen.
I mean, you expel, I want to say, at least 50 to 75% of your boost trying to get in the air from a dead tire position. And so having all three of your players do that, you're all going to be dead in the water then for the next couple of seconds while you wait for your momentum to catch up and be able to actually move forward. So it's, as you said, it's not smart. And when all three of your players do it, there's no way you're going to be able to follow it up if anybody from the other team it gets the rebound on that ball, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean, and we kind of alluded to it, and it sort of reared its ugly head there a lot in game two. Is it felt like at times that Alkaline was just trying to do too much as opposed to relying on his teammates. Because classic example, that game ended. Triple commit means there was no trust between those teammates. Everyone thought they had to make a play, when normally, as we see from Boise State, all right, I know this guy's going to make the play, but if not, I'll be in the next rotation. And I think there was just a little bit too much of hero play that went on for Burnett in that game.
Yeah, it's not brought up in the keys to the game very often, but you will hear it in the comms across the teams, and that's when someone calls something and other people don't follow up on it. It's typically followed with trust or trust me, and you need to trust your teammates. You're on a team together for a reason.
Yeah, you have to have that communication, that trust, because you're going to put yourself in bad positions if you try and race back and make a save when you have someone like Gamer who's able to push that one away. Jersey Boy's going to keep it alive, but now it's a great pass over to Daniel. Alkaline going to try and hunt near midfield. He'll retreat for some boost, and now he'll take a shot. Jersey Boy's able to push away to him over to that side wall. Daniel goes flying in. He'll put it above the net. But A-Train's going to be able to corral this one, and you can see Thorn definitely playing with a little bit better spacing than Burnett.
better spacing. However, side control is definitely more in favor of Burnett right now, as they have not, the ball has not left the blue side for the first 45 seconds of this round. However, that could be just waiting for the opportunity to get a nice clear over someone, as Jersey Boy pops this over Uwu, sending it to the corner, but now it's in the air and it's anybody's ball. Double commit coming out from Burnett right now is going to manage to get the ball into the midfield, and A-Train's trying to elevate to grab it, just barely missing that ball.
Big Kaiser in the corner, can't get around Alkaline. He'll take a shot on net, it goes wide, double taps it right to the crossbar. A-Train's gonna pop it up in the air, but he can't quite clear it. Jersey Boy now in the corner, Daniel recenters it. Alkaline sees an opportunity, he'll take a shot. Ooh, crossbar makes a huge save. He gets a demo on the way out on the Big Kaiser, but side control finally does flip as Jersey Boy's able to clear it down.
Alkaline manages to pop the ball back into the air in the corner, and we've got A-Train jumping up, trying to get it sent over towards the middle of the goal. It's just not quite enough as Jersey Boy sends it back. Now there's a double commit on the ball from the side of Orange here in the corner. A-Train swoops in, popping the ball into the air over the Orange players, but we've got Uwu elevating, knocking the ball for a great clear back to the corner, but it goes right back to A-Train.
Alkaline able to clear it out himself. Scoreless here in game 3. Oh! And as I say it, Daniel gets the cross mapper.
Yeah, unfortunately for the blue players here, you could see that they were just over-rotated. We had 2 in the orange net and 1 at mid with very little boost in their reserves. So you gotta have that resource management and be thinking about what's gonna happen next and being ready to rotate no matter where it is on the field, and unfortunately just wasn't there for the blue side.
Still plenty of time for Thorn to try and tie this one, as A-Train's gonna pop it down. Can't quite get the pass over to Big Kaiser. Alkaline is there though, play it around 1, can't quite boost back into it, so the ball stays on the orange side, but there's Alkaline once again. He is so fast, it's just wild to me. He can go from one end to the other like he has teleportation skills.
I find it very interesting that Alkaline's the fast one, considering A-Train is the name of a fast superhero. It is. A-Train's the name of a superhero in the boys, and we've got Big Kaiser with a great shot on goal. However, it is going to be pushed back. Now Uwu has an opportunity for an open goal and kind of gets assisted by A-Train to score that one. Own goal situations happen a lot in this game when you're trying to go in for a defensive deflect, but sometimes it doesn't work out in your favor. It happens a lot in Lucio ball too, so I too have this happen to me. It's okay.
Yeah, those are the goals, the own goals, where it's like, well, you know, if he doesn't make a play, it's definitely going in, so we can't fault him on that one. Just try to keep the ball out of the back of the net. Burnett up here 2-0 in game number 3 in our first best of 3 of the Garden State Rocket League Championships. Oh, barely is Gamer able to clear that one away. Alkaline looks like he's going to go for the ball there. He'll pop it up. Got that full boost in the corner, but the ball's not going fast enough for him to make a fancy aerial play, so he'll have to lose his dribble right around that back corner. Now Jersey Boy with an opportunity, trying to play it off the back wall. Nice double tap there. Shot by a teammate off the crossbars. Is there a follow-up? The answer appears to be no. Big Kaiser's shot just goes a little too high.
Now we've got Daniel trying to tip this ball down to the ground. They managed to do it. However, the Big Kaiser is going to send it back to mid, straight into the tires of Alkaline, who's also going to take a shot on goal. Thankfully, Jersey's there and is able to send it back to the midfield. Alkaline is still trying to maintain possession, but A-Train's going to swoop in, knocking the ball to the corner and sending it over to Big Kaiser. And Jersey's going to have to elevate and trying to knock this ball away. We have all 3 players from the side of the Lions now in the goal, as we've got Uwu pushing up, trying to get a shot.
A-Train looks like he's going to hold off. Alkaline back pass to Daniel. He's now going to try and take it, but a nice dunk by A-Train. Puts the ball right on that orange side. Huge pinch, though, by Alkaline. Big Kaiser makes a great save. Alkaline looks like he has the follow-up. Can he go for the double tap off the wall? No! Just a little bit too hot.
A-Train's going to manage to knock the ball wide of the goal over to the Big Kaiser, who just doesn't have enough boost. Thankfully, Jersey's able to follow it up and send it down to the corner. Alkaline, however, now is in the air with a clean shot on goal. Nobody's there, and that is the 3rd goal for the Burnett's, and we are just under 1 minute remaining in this second match.
Alkaline has come alive here. Boop. Looking to get one on the board for his team in this conquest format. 5 teams will play a best of 3. This is the first one. The A team for both squads, just in name, not in skill. Burnett looks like they're well on their way to picking up this victory with a 3-0 lead and 40 seconds left. Jersey Boy in front of his own net, not able to clear that one away. Alkaline will keep it alive, but gets dunked over by the Big Kaiser. Daniel does push it right back on net. Ball waterfalls down. He's going to miss on it. Ooh, with a great shot. And Alkaline's going to add. There's the hat trick.
Unfortunately for the side of the Lions, they just kept the ball in front of the net a little bit too long. And those cross-net shots trying to clear have always been risky, sending it even to your own teammate. We did have 2 of the members of the Lions there, but instead sending it just straight to the mid might have been a better option there.
30 seconds left. See if Thorne can at least get a goal to maybe at least have a feel-good moment here, because it does not look like they are going to find a way back here in this game. Oh, Gamer making a great save there on the shot from the Big Kaiser from midfield. Alkaline's going to carry it up. 10 seconds left. Does he have one more goal left in him for another big goal game for him? Jersey Boy getting a little bit of help from A-Train in there, but you don't usually want to run into your teammate. Now time is going to expire. Alkaline will hit it down in the corner. I don't think he has enough boost. Bernard Barbarians are going to pick up our first win here and go up 1-0 overall in this series. Don't forget that Boise State Esports is always looking for talented players, production, and broadcasters. Top talent along with good grades and eligibility. Currently new scholarships as well. Sign up today by visiting boisestate.edu/esports for more information. Well, one series in the book, I should say, Nerdy. What did you see from both these teams? And I'd ask what we can see going forward, but we don't even know who's going to play. So what did you see from both these teams in this 3-game series that you liked?
I definitely liked seeing a lot of shots on goal. I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at the numbers, strictly the numbers, the team that takes the most shots typically is the one that does end up winning. However, the rotations that were coming out from the Barbarians were just slightly cleaner, and their aggression when they were at the mid and when they were trying to maintain side control was actually well controlled, and there wasn't a lot of situations where you saw them expelling a lot of their boost needlessly, and so that gave them the upper hand when it came to controlling the pace of the game as well as the movement of the game. So that's something that I hope we see coming out from the Lions in this next match.
Yeah, I thought that Alkali did a really good job in that last game we saw of learning a little bit about, maybe why they lost the game, which was he was just trying to do too much. Go back on defense, make a save when you already had Gamer there. Then they triple commit in overtime. I thought that Alkaline did a really, really good job of saying, okay, here were my mistakes, learn from them pretty well. I think there were still a couple times where there was some double commits, but I thought that was the big reason why Burnett was able to win, is their best player kind of realized, hey, I have a team behind me, so I'm able to rely on them just a bit more. And when he did that, Burnett was clearly the winner.
Yep, that's just how it is sometimes, but, for the side of the Lions, there's still another match. You have the opportunity to come back, forget about that other match, go into the next one thinking like it never even happened. That's the best way to do it.
We will hop into game number 2, or I should say match number 2, as we mentioned. 5 total matches, all of them best of 3. We'll see if Burnett can win the next 2 and get the sweep, or if we are in for the long haul, as it is the Garden State Esports Rocket League Championships between Burnett Middle School and Thorne Middle School. The Barbarians picking up the first series with a win over the Lions in a 2-1 fashion. We'll now head into series number 2. And these teams are encouraged to have up to 15 players, so for as good as Alkaline was, we might not see them again, Nerdy. So I think a lot of pressure is to see how stacked that A team for Burnett truly was.
My fingers are crossed to hoping that it wasn't super stacked, that they do have just a balanced level of skill across the board, and I hope for the Lions that maybe they are more stacked in their next teams, and they did the reverse of what we thought, which is put all your good players in the front and then follow it up with the support players. They might have flipped it over, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that is honestly, I think, my favorite part of this format is there's just so much strategy in terms of how do you stack your teams? Do you make every team equal? Do you make it so that one team's really good and then the skill kind of decreases, as your typical varsity JVC team that we see in middle school and high school sports? We're going to find out here, as Burnett's going to have it shaky this time. Carry it all the way down to the corner. Going to see one save miss, but another one is made there. Looks like Tito's able to make barely a save. I thought that was going to be a lot easier. Freezy Frog not able to find it. It's shaky, pops it up in the air. Oh, great setup for a teammate. Blunt trying to make a save, can't quite do it. Freezy not able to get it away, but the ball just barely ricochets away. Now Snow Eagle has a great chance. Freezy Frog's going to run into him. That's a little team-on-team misplay.
Freezy Frog's trying to send the ball down to the corner, but we've got Cheese over here who's going to pop it up into the air at the midfield, sending it over to Freezy Frog once again. However, there's going to be some of the Burnett double commit coming out from Burnett right here. We've got Tito Lover over in the corner, but the Lions are just going to manage to pop up enough to send the ball back over towards the right corner.
So we see Cheese now, waiting for it near midfield. Not able to find it. Him and Shaky kind of double commit on that one. 3 members in net for Thorn. Always a scary place to be, but Freezy Frog able to make the save. Snow Eagle now going to carry it down like the cherry on top. Oh, he didn't know that ball was going to be missed, so he kind of bailed. That's going to allow Burnett to just get a clean win.
We've got Cheese over here with their eyes on the ball, trying to get some possession of it. They do manage to receive a pass from one of their teammates, but they're getting bopped around by It's Shaky a little too many times. We've got I'm going to go with Blue. We're going to call them Blue. Blue is managing to clear the ball back over to It's Shaky here in the corner, and Freezy Frog is going to manage to get the first goal of the game.
Yeah, great job by Freezy Frog. I think unfortunately for Burnett, it was just too much, friendly fire. I mean, we talked about it. It's Shaky and Cheese were just bouncing all over the place, and they just kept running into each other. So this definitely feels like, this is one of those where these players are definitely going to go back and say, all right, we got to trust our teammates. We got to know they're there. As Blue's not able to get the ball, but does get the demo onto It's Shaky. Freezy able to pinch that one right off the corner there. Awful dribble as we see 2 members of Thorn run into each other in their own net. They are very scared right now as they already have 2 members defending a ball that's on the other side of the field.
We've got Snow Frog who's going to manage to pop the ball into the midfield, but one of their teammates is just going to over-elevate and miss it. Cheesy's going to get taken out as we've got Tito Lover now with an open goal opportunity. Just barely going to miss it. Freezy Frog's now able to get the ball, taking it back over to the mid. All of the members of Burnett have rotated back, and they're going to manage to clear the ball over to the corner.
It's Shaky's going to have it. Can't quite play it off the wall. Cheese will clear it down. Doesn't quite get it past Snow Eagle, but It's Shaky's able to get it off the rebound. Good job there by Snow Eagle, clearing it back towards midfield. Freezy Frog gets the ball dunked over him. That's going to allow a chance here for It's Shaky. Take a shot on the net. As now we're going to see Tito's going to be able to take a shot here. He's got it in the corner. Blue not able to make the save. Wide open net. Thorn just has enough players back though.
The ball, however, gets sent over by Blue off the save to be their first goal of the game from a cross-shot cleared ball. That is so always painful to be experiencing, especially when you are on the offensive, but it just comes to cleaning up those rotations.
Nice 2-0 lead right now here for Thorn in our match number 2. Game 1 as Freezy Frog's going to have it near midfield. Can't quite fight it though. It's Shaky. No follow-up from him. Freezy Frog going to get a little friendly fire from Snow Eagle, but Snow Eagle's now going to carry it down. Oh, nice play off the back wall. Trying to wait for Tito where he wants to put it. It's Shaky's going to hit it back. So now they're going to have to wait. It's Shaky takes a shot on net. Snow Eagle just barely is able to kill it.
We've got Tito over here with the ball, sending it to midfield. Isn't quite able to have the follow-up from a teammate that they would like. We also have Snow Eagle now, who's going to manage to send the ball over to the side of Orange into the corner with a follow-up from Freezy Frog at the goal. However, it's just going to be cleared out by the side of the Burnett to the midfield.
Ball still on that Orange side. Just over a minute left here. So we're waiting to see if Burnett can stage a comeback. Tito's going to great pass over to It's Shaky. They're trying to set up something off the wall, but Blue's able to make a great save, push it away. Tito's going to miss on it. It's Shaky wants to keep it alive. Blue's going to dunk it right over him. Now has possession cleanly in the corner, but a great retreat by Cheese.
Got Freezy Frog is trying to get some field presence in right here. However, they're just going to get bumped around way too much. Snow Eagle's trying to get possession right now, but the side of Burnett is now going very aggressive and constantly booping the cars for the Lions right now, just constantly disrupting their play.
Freezy Frog plays it off the wall there towards midfield. It's Shaky. Here's a great shot. Oh, just a little bit wide. He tried for the double tap. Couldn't quite find it with 30 seconds left. Tito barely keeps the Barbarians' hopes alive.
30 seconds is more than enough time to score a goal. We've seen it happen before in these games. It might be a kickoff goal. It might be a waiting until the clock runs out and dribbling it in on top of the ball, on top of the car type of goal, but there is still an opportunity to see this go into overtime.
6 seconds, or 24 seconds left, excuse me. Freezy Frog. Oh! That might end it, though, with a great sort of kickoff goal, we'll call it.
Yeah, I'm going to call that a kickoff goal. I do not believe the opportunity for a double equalizer goal is in the cards here for the side of Burnett, as we only have 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough. Maybe a quick kickoff goal could be something, but right now these kickoffs going all to the side of Thorn.
Oh, my apologies. We actually have 16 seconds left as we got Tito Lover over here with possession of the ball. It's Cheese trying to help them out a little bit without disrupting their play. We've got Freezy Frog with opportunity to get the ball into the net on the orange side, but it's going to be cleared away. We've got Snow Eagle also elevating, trying to knock the ball away, but is going to miss and is now just kind of sitting there waiting for the time to run out, and it does. So that finishes out, I believe, round 2 of match 1. So now we have a 1-1 scoring match.
No, yeah, that was actually game 1 of round 2, so it should just be 1-0 Thorn, I believe.
Okay.
Hopefully. Yeah, it's all the format itself can be a little confusing, but it is 5 different best of 3s. We already saw Burnett pick up the first one. I think that was Thorn's first win in our first game of match 2. So they should have a 1-0 lead. We'll have to see if maybe one of us has to be right, hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Oh, okay. We've got a map pool here. We see the Barbarians had won the first one. The second one is going into the Lions. Now we're going to our third match. It's anybody's game here. As we see, it's Shaky with a double commit from one of their teammates with a shot on goal, but it looks like Cheese is going to come in. So we now got all 3 players at the side of Burnett over here at the goal, but we've got Blue who's going to take it to the midfield, doing some fancy rotations happening right now, but the ball's going to get cleared over their head and sent over to Freezy Frog.
Oh, Freezy. Actually, he's now changed his name. He's now Freezy Fridge.
Why do you do this to us?
I don't know. Change cars, change names. He wasn't able to find it. Snow Eagle's not able to dunk that one over. Now Freezy Fridge going to retreat. Ball just barely goes off his hood. Triple commit comes out, and that's a recipe for disaster. It's Shaky's going to get the first goal.
Oh, that's never something you want to see. This is, as we've discussed, those rotations are very important. You cannot be leaving an open net like that. All 3 of your players on one person with the ball, there's no chance of saving it if it goes into the direction of your net. And that's exactly what happens. We see this kickoff go in favor of the Lions, but it's going to get sent down to It's Shaky over here in the corner. He's going to play it off the wall to themselves and try to dribble it past 2 of the members of the Lions. They managed to make it past 1. Now they've got 2 of them in the goal. He's going to play it up into the corner. It's going to get cleared by Freezy Fridge, but it's going to go straight over to Cheesy, who's going to try and keep this attack on the side of the Lions alive right here.
Freezy Fridge and Tito going to run into each other. Ball still near midfield. It's Shaky, shaping up for a shot here. Nice double tap. Can't quite find it. Cheese comes rushing in. His shot will go wide, though. And unfortunately, no clear come out yet. Now there's Snow Eagle, who's barely able to clear it down, but It's Shaky's going to keep it alive. Triple commit once again comes out from Thorn. They still have not found a clear as Tito's going to put it in for the second goal.
Now we've got equal signs of life showing from both teams, in my opinion. However, for the side of the Lions, their rotations need to be cleaned up. They had, for the vast majority of that forward push coming out from Burnett, they had 3 players in the goal at all times, and that's not what you need, because then you're also leaving 2 players for the other side with no pressure on them, equal opportunities to get past to them and score a goal themselves.
That was absolutely wild. The ball ricochets off the crossbar a couple of times. Now It's Shaky is a wide open net.
Do it, Shaky, do
Puts
it!
it in. Burnett now with a 3-0 lead. And almost a disaster off the kickoff. They end up finding their third goal. Burnett now with a 3-0 lead. And almost a disaster off the kickoff. They end up finding their third goal.
That unfortunate moment for Blue, who is trying to go in just to tap the ball wide for the goal, missing it a little bit too late on that one. Unfortunately, that happens to everybody, though.
Freezy Fridge can't quite find it near midfield. There's still plenty of time left for Thorn to come back. There's still over 3 minutes. A goal a minute is not a tall task in Rocket League. We'll see if Burnett can add to their lead as Tito's going to center it. It's Shaky. Will just clear it away. They're going to go retreating. You see there's already a double commit coming out from Thorn. Nice little clear, though. It's Shaky has it near midfield. This is an opportunity for Freezy Fridge. He's going to keep it alive. Here comes Blue racing down into the corner. He'll take a shot right off the crossbar, and it gets cleared away by Cheese.
You've got Tito Lover with the ball. Opportunity to get the ball over here in the corner. They just miss it, however, so Freezy Fridge is now going to try and take it with a great boot from Blue, sending it back to the midfield. Tito Lover's going to try and catch up and grab it, but it's just not quite enough. Blue is trying to rotate and grab it in the air as well. Is going to miss it, leaving it Shaky alone in the goal right now. They see their own teammate Cheese waiting on the defensive side for the ball to come back to them. Tito Lover and it looks like Shaky are both rotating back towards the goal. So now we've got 3 players for the side of Burnett, all on their own side, and their rotations are falling apart a little bit.
Not allowed a goal, though, so that is a positive as it's Shaky had a near chance at an open net, but that ball just goes a bit wide. Tito's going to keep it alive. Freezy Fridge hits it back towards the center. Blue with a shot. Tito makes a great save there near the midfield stripe. Blue's going to collide with his own teammate, and Thorn still having some of those rotational issues here, Nerdy, even about a minute and a half left.
We've got Cheese who's going to manage to clear this ball into the midfield, sending it over to It's Shaky, who was well in deep on the side of the blue field. Freezy Fridge is going to knock it over to the corner, sending it also to Tito, who's going to try and center it up to their own teammate. Cheese is there for the follow, just barely missing it, giving an opportunity for Blue to send the ball to the midfield, passing it over to the Orange's corner. Tito Lover still maintaining their control on this ball, though, is going to dribble it past Freezy Fridge, sending it to It's Shaky, who's going to miss the ball, and having Freezy elevate to try and get it knocked down and tipping it to their own teammates.
Freezy and Blue collide into each other on what would have been a great opportunity to keep Thorn alive in this one. Instead, the ball ends up on their own side. It's Shaky double clutches, and it does not matter. He's got a hat trick, and this is a clear win for Brunette. Time just has to tick down.
Unfortunately, I do not see the odds in their favor being able to score 4 goals in less than a minute, especially with the way that these kickoffs have been going. They have been very much so stalemated and 50-50 balls, not really going in anyone's favor. As we see one player for each side commit to the 50-50, ending up with nobody really, so It's Shaky is going to elevate to grab the ball, followed up by the players from the Lions, who all 3 just barely miss it as Shaky's managing to dribble it around them.
No eagle here. Let's see. For Thorn, you got to find something that you think you can put together for game 3, because you still have a chance here. As It's Shaky's going to spike that one down. 30 seconds left here in game number 2 of our second series. Burnett's cruising on to a victory with a 4-0 lead. Tito's going to go over to the other side. Him and It's Shaky going to run into each other. Still a little bit of issues from both sides in terms of clean rotations. Great play over to Cheese as Freezy Fridge is going to miss it. Unfortunately, just no shot open here for Burnett.
We're now getting to the 10 seconds remaining mark, and for the side of the Lions, I do not feel like they're going to manage to even score that one safety goal just to make sure that that score does not remain at a 0. The ball's just got to hit the ground now for the side of Burnett, and they've clinched this match in their favor.
Yeah, that was a great response there by Burnett, and I think the biggest issue that it's all is that Thorn's rotations got worse. We saw the first 2 or 3 goals were all just off of really kind of bad triple commits, so they've got to, in this time, say, okay, you know what, we can trust our teammates, we can make sure we're able to allow them to make plays, because it felt like everyone was trying to make that solo play, and then they would all be in an awful position.
Yes, this is not solo ranked queuing. You have a team and you need to work with them. All of you were selected to be on this team together for a reason, so please help each other out.
Yeah, I mean, Thorn has had a lot of issues, in rotations in this game. The fact that they won the first game, they maybe got a little bit lucky that they kind of got away with it, and sometimes winning with bad habits is actually worse than losing because you don't realize you need to correct them. So they've got to work on that triple commits. And I do think the other thing is Brunette really reduced on the friendly fire, because there were a lot of goals scored just because there was simply friendly fire coming out. It's off the kickoff. Oh, Freezy Fridge can't quite find it.
Yes, and it's going to end up with Cheese having possession of the ball at the midfield, followed up by It's Shaky, who's trying to swoop in and help them out a little bit. Tito Lover is also going to get a little bit of time with the ball as well, sending it back to Cheese in the corner, so they haven't had the definitive opportunity to get a great clear. We've got Freezy Fridge trying to challenge Cheese for the possession of the ball right here. However, Cheese is just going to keep it with them as It's Shaky clears it, but it goes right to Snow Eagle.
Oh, Snow Eagle waiting to play his own rebound. Let's see what Tito's going to do with it. Looks like Freezy Fridge is actually going to take possession. He'll play it off the back wall. Snow Eagle takes a shot. Oh, Freezy Fridge can't quite fight it. Neither can Blue. And now, Freezy Fridge has got to retreat. It's shaky. Didn't quite get the angle on the ball he wanted, so he's not able to take a clean shot. And his teammate runs into him. Oh, that could have been a goal for Brunette.
Friendly fire. I never thought I'd use the term friendly fire when it comes to a game about cars, but you're right, that friendly fire that's coming out from both teams is kind of being their own undoing. So they got to make sure they stay out of each other's lines and are not hitting each other at inopportune times, because booping one another into a certain position can be beneficial, but not always, especially when you want that one person you are booping has ball possession and they're on your own side.
Yeah, it's definitely, we talked about it, you got to be in rotation, you've got to be able to predict where the ball's going to go, not just chase the ball, that sort of bumblebee soccer that you see from time to time. And there's a nice little tee up. Oh, Freezy Fridge makes a huge save. Don't know if that was intended or not, but it worked out for Brunette until a great save by Freezy Fridge. He's going to carry it down into the corner. It's shaky, though. Will corral it. The ball's still bouncing right in front of that net. The Barbarian should be able to clear it away. Oh, Snow Eagle's shot just goes wide, and It's Shaky makes a save just in the nick of time.
Yes, and sending the ball back over to the corner, and we've got Tito who's going to get some level of possession on it. We do see, however, that It's Shaky was elevating, trying to grab that ball as well, so that double commit wasn't in their favor, as Freezy Fridge is managing to get a little bit of disruption play happening. Cheesy's trying to maintain their presence at the midfield, watching It's Shaky elevate with grabbing the ball into the corner. Freezy Fridge is going to send it back over to that corner, though, and the ball's going in front of their own goal. Thankfully, Blue is there to boop it into the mid.
It's Shaky's going to have it there. A huge demo coming out from Snow Eagle. That's going to allow that ball to be on the possession of Thorn. Snow Eagle plays it perfectly, but a great save coming out there from Cheese. Now Tito Lover's going to have in the corner. He's got It's Shaky near midfield. If he wants to set up a pass, he's going to try and do it himself. Blue's going to make the save. Now Freezy Fridge is going to bail on it and allow Orange Team to maintain possession until a bad pass.
Freezy Fridge is going to send it over into the corner where Cheese and Tito are going to have the opportunity to send it back to the midfield. Tito's now elevating to try and get possession of this ball, but Blue's going to knock it back over into the corner, leaving It's Shaky there to try and grab it. It's Shaky's not going to manage to get any sort of touch on that ball, so Tito Lover's now having to backtrack and rotate, trying to grab this ball off the bounce from the wall. It's Shaky, though, it has a clean shot on goal, but it's just going to go over and hit that crossbar, sending it back to their own teammate.
Freezy Fridge pops it over towards midfield. Snow Eagle's there, but the ball goes over him. It's Shaky, plays it off the wall. Freezy Fridge going to be able to intercept in the corner now. Tito's going to be able to hit it back. We've turned this into a bit of a volleyball match here with the teams trading possessions. Oh, great opportunity here. Cheese barely makes a save. That ball might have been high, but he was able to push it away anyway. And now we're a minute and a half away from heading to overtime here in game number 3.
We've got Tito with ball possession over here. 2 of the players from the Lions trying to commit onto them, and it's just enough to manage to get the ball out of Tito's possession. But Tito's still not letting up, trying to grab it away. We've got Cheese clearing the ball out of the mid with It's Shaky now in the goal, making sure that there is no open goal opportunity. Snow Eagle's going to try and knock the ball in the air. Is just going to miss it. Freezy Fridge is now managing to get the ball in their possession, knocking it to the corner. Cheese is waiting, trying to make sure that there isn't any opportunity to score a clean goal for the side of the Lions, as we see It's Shaky taking the ball to the midfield.
Tito tried to play that one off the wall, couldn't quite do it, neither could Snow Eagle. Now there's a minute left. They do bump Cheese out of the net, but they traded off for a demolition for Blue, so that's not going to help the cause if you're Thor. The ball's going to stay around midfield. Blue off the respawn, able to hit it in the corner. Beats Tito around the corner. Nice shot. Cheese is there. Freezy Fridge tries to keep it alive. They've got to retreat, and they'll do just that. 30 seconds left, and neither team giving an inch. Oh, man. Snow Eagle nearly put it in on his own net.
We've got It's Shaky right now, along with one of their teammates, trying to get some ball possession, maintaining the push right here onto the goal. Freezy Fridge, however, is trying to do as much as they can to make sure that they are disrupting the play for the side of Burnett in any way, shape, or form, as Freezy Fridge is managing to dribble the ball up through the mid, off the wall, sending it to Blue, who's going to play it off that back wall with the side of Burnett managing to just boop it away. Cheese is sending it to the corner, but Freezy Fridge was there yet again, knocking it back to the side of Orange.
Oh, ball barely misses hitting the wall and staying alive in regulation. So we're heading to overtime here. Off the kickoff, oh man, Burnett almost fell asleep in overtime and nearly allowed the game winner in. Blue's gonna rip a shot, not able to find anything. Tito now puts one on net. Freezy Fridge turns it away near midfield, gonna maintain possession, plays it around 2, gonna play it off the wall to himself. Can he make something happen? No, he'll get demoed.
We've got Snow Eagle with their sights on the ball right now, maintaining their presence in the midfield. They aren't using their boost to try and go get this ball super quickly, so they're trying to set up a great shot for themselves and their teammates. However, it's going to get cleared away by its Tito lover. Freezy Fridge is going to elevate and try and tip the ball down here over on the side of the blue. They managed to get it clear over to blue, who's got a shot on goal with it. One player to beat from the side of Burnett. They might be able to do it. We've got Snow Eagle now, who's going to get a shot in on the goal, but it's just not quite enough, as it is saved by the side of Burnett.
Snow Eagle nearly forced blue into that ball. I thought that was going to go in, and that would have been one of the greatest game-winning goals that I've ever seen, but the crossbar had other plans. Minute gone by in overtime. See Burnett fully retreat into their corner. Cheese is going to pop it up right in front of his own net. Dangerous place to be.
Ooh.
It's shaky, makes a great save. Oh, Tito's shot turned away by blue. And Thorn has all the pressure right now in overtime.
Snow Eagle now trying to keep the ball in their possession. They have the pressure from Tito Lover on them. If Freezy Fridge is managing to send it over to the corner, but Cheese is also going to knock it back to the midfield. Snow Eagles got their sights on the ball. However, if it's too far away, their only option is to retreat. So Tito's playing the ball off the wall to themselves, trying to dribble past two members of the side of the Lions, and they managed to do just that, scoring the game-winning goal.
What a play by Tito with a great pinch right there. That was 100 miles an hour. That was absolutely insane. That was a fast shot, and it is a win for Burnett, and they'll put themselves up 2-0, and they're now on match point. Don't forget the Idaho Army National Guard, a proud supporter of Boise State Esports, invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out on Twitch at iGuardGaming. Can Burnett pull off the sweep? Can Thorn force us to a Game 4? We're going to take a quick break and find out after these commercials.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Legendary parts for legendary wins. Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
and be non-beneficial to your own team, and I feel like UU needs to be careful as I say that. They come in and manage to score a goal, but there was a double commit and they did steal the ball away from their own team. Hopefully that was being communicated and it wasn't just I'm gonna be, doing everything.
This game's now tied at 1 with 2 minutes left. If Burnett's able to pick up the win here, they would be up 1-0 in our overall series. Thorn trying to send us to a game 3, but there's UU right on time. Put for the Barbarians back in the lead.
A 1-score differential lead, though, is a good game of soccer. It is not too much here in the realm of Rocket League, because as we have going to manage to get the ball at the midfield right here, but we do see Big Kaiser now pushing the ball towards the side of Orange with a double commit at the goal from both of the Orange players, with leaving Jersey the opportunity to score that goal in overtime.
Yeah, it was actually a triple commit now that we see the replay that came out from Burnett. And very rarely are triple commits a good thing.
Our type of goal, but there is still an opportunity to see this go into overtime.
6 seconds, or 24 seconds left, excuse me. Freezy Frog. Oh! That might end it, though, with a great sort of kickoff goal, we'll call it.
Yeah, I'm going to call that a kickoff goal. I do not believe the opportunity for a double equalizer goal is...
Barely able to clear it down, but it's Shaky's going to keep it alive. Triple commit once again comes out from Thorn. They still have not found a clear as Tito's going to put it in for the second goal.
Now we've got equal signs of life showing from both teams, in my opinion. However, for the side of the Lions, their rotations need to be cleaned up. They
collide into each other on what would have been a great opportunity to keep Thorn alive in this one. Instead, the ball ends up on their own side. It's Shaky. Double clutches, and it does not matter. He's got a hat trick, and this is a clear win for Brunette. Time just has to tick down.
Unfortunately, I do not see the odds in their favor being able to score 4 goals in less than a minute, especially...
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Now on to our third match of the afternoon in the Garden State Esports Rocket League Championship. We've got Burnett Middle School taking on Thorn Middle School. Right now, Burnett leads the series 2-0 and could pull off a sweep here in the championships, Nerdy Bird. But we never know what's going to happen as we'll get 6 new players across the board here for map number 3.
I mean, I'm hoping to see 6 brand new players. I think... we have to, technically speaking, if they had at least 9 players, we would always be seeing new players up until this point. So, in theory, no one's going to be gassed. However, for the side of the Lions, my advice is, clean up those rotations. I totally understand the Rocket League comm system tends to be a little bit more relaxed than Overwatch is. You can always hear us screaming at the top of our lungs. But maybe it's time to play the volleyball move and scream into your mic when you have the ball and when you're rotating and when you have the opportunity to make it clear, and you won't have those double commits from your teammates.
We are going to kick off here. Looks like we have one familiar name. Looks like Tito is still in this game for Burnett. Everybody else is all new. The Jersey boy is going to score. So actually, no, this is the first team that we saw from the side of Thorn with Jersey boy, A-Train, and the Big Kaiser playing here in our third match. So we've seen this team already. They're off to the lead. We've got a couple new players here for Brunette and Don Jimenez and CMS. Hopefully Tito's able to connect as he looks like he's maybe having some connection issues. Big Kaiser going to carry this one down. Can't quite find it. Now CMS going to miss on this one. Jersey boy going to have it here off the wall, trying to center it over for a teammate, or he'll just carry it himself.
Just do it yourself.
Where was that in game number 1?
I guess, Jersey might have had the, I know my prowess in this game. I know when I need to have my opportunity to score and show off just a tiny bit, and now they're doing it. They're warmed up, they're ready, they got the juice in their system.
Kick off here. I mean, it is so hard to play 2-on-3 Rocket League. I know we saw it once with Boise State Orange, where it was a 2-on-3 and Orange ended up winning, as Jersey boy's going to put another one home. Already has a hat trick 45 seconds in. So I feel for the side of Burnett, because 2-on-3 in Rocket League is one of the hardest things.
Yeah, it happens in Overwatch too. You have that disconnect, you have someone rage quit, you're left with a 5v6. And if you're familiar with one of our players, a large bagel, they will always be screaming in their mic, still winnable. Even in a 5v6, you can draw it out, and that's better than losing. You have to give it your all no matter what. Even being down 33%, you can still come out on top. As we see the 4th goal come out for the Lions, though, this is looking like it's going to be a pretty rough game. Maybe it's time for for the side of Burnett at least to focus on other things, clean up their gameplay just a tiny bit. This is their opportunity to focus on, the minor tweaking when you are up one player.
Yeah, this is the time to adjust the small things. I mean, as we mentioned, for this Thorn team, we've seen A-Train, Jersey Boy, and a Big Kaiser. We saw them in our first match of the night, so maybe this is one where they work on some things that they struggled with in that first one. If that one's going to go in for A-Train, the route is on, but I agree with you also for Burnett. Try and do what you can. Practice maybe getting just those big clears away and not just burning clock, but getting clears in disadvantaged situations.
Yes, you have to take the bad with the good. In the realm of technology, things happen, things go wrong, you have a disconnect, this happens. You just have to learn to work around it. It's like the weather when you're playing with sports. Yes, you can blame it on the wind and the rain that the ball got thrown from the midfield over far right side, but at the end of the day, you still have to practice taking those shots.
Oh, nice little clear there from CMS. Jersey Boy should be able to corral that one. Bit of a double commit comes out. A-Train even runs into him. Still having some of those rotational issues for Thorn that we've seen plague them throughout the afternoon. That's a big reason why Burnett currently leads this series 2-0. And is on the verge of winning, though it does not look like they'll win game one here. CMS with a great opportunity. Not quite confident, ends up bumping his own teammate to go up and play it in the air. He was waiting for it to land. His teammate ran into him. We've seen that happen just a little bit. Nice pinch by Jersey Boy. Can Don Jimenez retreat in time? The answer is yes. And I like this fight we've seen out of Burnett in the last minute or so.
We've got Jersey right now who does a backflip trying to get possession of this ball. Is going to play it off the wall to themselves, trying to dribble it in the air just a tiny bit. Both the members on the side of Burnett, however, are on the ground waiting for that ball to hit. Big Kaiser's going to jump in, managing to send the ball over to Jersey, but there's going to be a touch coming out from CM, hitting it over to the wall, forcing Jersey to play the ball off the wall to themselves. Now a double commit coming out from the side of Burnett, leaving open an open net opportunity for Jersey to score another goal, and that is their 6th goal with just a little bit over 2.5 minutes left.
Fortunately, I think CMS might have hit this one in the wrong direction. We'll check here from the replay. Oh, yeah, just put him, just a really awkward spot. You've got a car below you, so you can't get the positioning you want. That'll happen. Own goals, very common in Rocket League. There's a reason why there's not a medal for it, because it does happen more than anyone would probably like, but it's just such a fast-paced game. You can just get one wrong angle. This Jersey Boy has an opportunity there. Nice play by CMS, cleared it all the way into the opposite corner. Nice, and Big Kaiser's going to have an opportunity, and that is a great shot right there. Corner pocket. It's so hard to stop even if you had 3, maybe even 4 people.
They're actually, now for the side of Burnett, all 3 of their players have spawned in, so this is back to being a 3-3 match. This first, however, round, I will say, might be one where you just take a moment and analyze the gameplay coming out from the Lions right now, as we are seeing some frustrations for the Burnett team in this rotation that we have here. So, don't overstress trying to come back in this game with just 2 minutes. 7 goals is a bit difficult, but use it as an opportunity to evaluate, analyze, and scout what you're going to have to do for the next round. As we see CM managing to get a demolition out, but that might not have been enough, as it is still going to be a goal for the Big Kaiser.
And Big Kaiser gets his own hat trick in this game.
This is oof.
Maybe the demolition meant that the ball went flying. Baller, who has now joined for the side of Burnett, probably still a little bit cold, especially when you're trying to deal with those disconnect issues. So probably wasn't fully warmed up, but he'll get the next 2 minutes of practice. And oh man, off the kickoff!
And they get the follow touch. But Big Kaiser was there, and they're going to get disrupted in the air, but it's not going to be enough to stop the pursuit for that goal, as Jersey Boy's going to be there for the follow-up.
Yeah, Baller came in. I thought he had sparked new life into this team. Just not quite. All 3 members committed way before midfield. Not something you want to do. Want to have someone back in that goal on the rotation. Thorn now with that 9-0 lead. Those 7 of those goals were scored in a 2-on-3, and Baller off the kickoff has been a baller, living up to his name so far. 2 huge kickoff wins. Just A-Train makes a great save on that one.
Baller is going to be waiting at the midfield, managing to redirect a ball, taking it away from the side of the Lions, sending it to the corner. Big Kaiser's also got his sights set on this ball, going to manage to just barely miss that tip down to the ground, trying to get some level of possession, taking the ball in front of their own goal. It's going to get spiked into the air. Jersey Boy's going to try and get some possessions, tipping it over, but it looks like Baller's just waiting at mid, managing to get it back down into the corner right in front of Blue's goal. They now have 2 players waiting, but they're just going to miss because that crossbar is never your friend.
We see a miss there for Jersey Boy, but the Big Kaiser's able to clear it down. Can't quite play it himself. Seamus going to put it right in front of the net, but he's able to push it away. There's only a minute left here. We'll see if Burnett can maybe try and prove that in full strength they might be the slightly better squad. As there is Baller, who had some internet issues but did join about 3 or 4 minutes into the match. Gonna have a chance here to stop the Big Kaiser. Can't quite do it, but it does disrupt him just enough to push him away and prevent a 10th goal from going in.
We've got Dawn with our sights set on the ball right now. However, 2 members of the side of the Lions are in that corner waiting and are managing to pop the ball just over their head. So we do see Jersey trying to dribble the ball into the mid, just past A-Train, with the double commit coming out from the side of Burnett's going to manage to prevent the ball from going in. Now for the side of the Lions, they're rotating all the way back to the blue goal, trying to prevent this ball from going in. The Burnett's looking for that 1 goal to show that they're still alive as we're down to that 17-second mark.
Jersey boys going to try and carry it. Yeah, Big Kaiser in midfield. A-Train's going to take the shot. Don Jimenez able to push that one away. The Big Kaiser keeps it alive and hits down into the other corner. Jersey boy going to play it off the wall. A-Train with a chance here. Baller should be able to make a save. CMS will take it from him. Thorne's the winner regardless, but I like the fight that we saw come out from the side of Burnett after Baller joined.
Yeah, I mean, 2 goals scored after Baller had joined the game definitely demonstrates that when it's a fair game, there definitely isn't one team that'll come out on top. I only count having had 2 goals in that game, not the first 7, just because it wasn't the actual game yet.
Yeah.
So now that Baller is in, we're going to start out this next round with a 3-3. I think we'll actually be able to see how this series might play out a little bit better. I can't call anything just yet. Yes, we had seen the entire side of the Lions already. We know how those players play and how they play around each other. They do very well. However, for the side of Burnett, these are all new faces, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think Baller, from the 2 kickoffs we saw, almost had both of them go in. One of them was just wide. The other one, A-Train, ended up making a great save. So I think if you're Thorne, you've got to watch out when Baller is in the kickoff place, because of course every kickoff you do rotate, so he might not always be there. But you got to watch out because he was definitely the fastest one to the ball. This time it was CMS who took the kickoff. He's not able to find it. The ball ends up on the orange side. Baller going to play that one away. A little bit of a pass back there. CMS now. Him and Don Jimenez both going to commit on it. They'll actually run into each other. And Jersey boys now going to be able to play it around CMS, and unfortunately Burnett's all kind of huddled around that ball. They've got to be careful here. We see, it looks like a shot from A-Train, and that's what happens when you all kind of just triple commit to a ball for 15 seconds.
Yeah, I was at this midfield point hoping we would see a rotation happen coming out from the side of Burnett, as they did have a double commit after the triple commit. And it's apparent to me that maybe in the comms there isn't a calling of rotation, and that's something you got to get on top of there, Burnett. But that comes with time. Don't fully expect everybody to understand how intense comms sometimes need to be.
Baller's going to play that one off the wall. We see one miss. Him and Dom Jimenez going to run into each other. Oh, they had a chance in a one-on-one, but they just bailed on the ball. So unfortunate. That's going to allow Big Kaiser carry it all the way down. Great save by CMS, though, to keep us in a 1-0 game. CMS now going to play it off the ceiling. Jersey boy will tee up it off his teammate there. And CMS going to hit it down. It's a one-on-one, but a huge clear comes out. Great play there from A-Train.
We've got Bullet now with this ball in the corner, but it looks like Big Kaiser's going to try and disrupt their possession just a tiny bit, leaving an opportunity for the rest of the side of Burnett to take the ball back to the midfield. A-Train's trying to get some level of control over here in the corner, but their teammate thankfully is going to be able to knock it away. Dawn's trying to help out their team as they rotate back towards their own goal, making sure they don't leave it open. Jersey boy's going to tip the ball down into the corner on the orange side. They have the opportunity to play the ball off the wall to one of their own teammates, but with a double commit coming out from Burnett, they just can't quite get possession that they need, and they just miss the tip on that ball for that shot on goal.
All still hanging around the orange net. Don Jimenez and Baller are going to run into each other, so they're not able to find a clear. Great dunk there by Jersey boy. Keep it on the orange side. Now Jersey boy looking for a follow-up. He'll just find it. I don't think he's got anything in terms of teammates. Actually get clipped on the way out by Big Kaiser, who will push it over. And once again, this has been huge cyclical domination from Burnett. One of Doc's keys to the game, and right now, big reason why Thorne is winning. Big Kaiser can't quite keep it alive. A-Train shot going to get dunked over by Baller, but the ball's still in front of the net. Finally, CMS pushes it away, and it rolls past Jersey boy.
Jersey did something very interesting right there. They actually completely stopped, knowing that they weren't going to be able to back up quick enough to get that ball, and left their teammates to go grab it and send it to them over their head. They had the opportunity to get that shot on goal, but it just barely misses. We got CMS trying to play the ball off the wall right here. They're just not going to be able to find that touch. With a follow-up coming in from the Big Kaiser, though, it's going to get their second goal in the game.
Yeah, you can see, unfortunately, that whole time, Burnett was never able to clear that ball away. There, Don Jimenez was in rotation, just couldn't quite find it. You got to work. Those big booming clears can't be huge. We talk about side control all the time, and I think that was nearly 2 minutes of perfect side control for Thorn, and they're well on their way, at least in the first half here, to forcing us to a match number 4 overall. As the Big Kaiser's going to try and play it down. Seamess has it in the corner. Double commit comes out from him and A-Train. Now Seamess has another opportunity. Shot goes wide. A-Train clears it around.
A-Train cleared that ball in front of their own goal, which is always a risky play, as if anyone from the side of Burnett had the opportunity to just barrel down mid and get the ball into the goal, they would have had a free shot. Thankfully, there wasn't anything happening like that. We have Jersey, who almost had ball possession, but A-Train's going to knock it back over to the mid, sending it over to the orange side, who's now having a double commit on the ball with a triple commit coming out from the Lions. We see Bullet swooping in, playing the ball into the air, trying to pop it off the wall to themselves, but two of the players, it looks like Jersey and Big Kaiser, are trying to stop that forward push. Big Kaiser has a shot on goal, but it just goes wide with no follow-up from their team.
Wide open net. Sometimes you just got to slow down just a tad. Make sure the ball goes in the back of the net. But Thorn's still in command here. Have not allowed a huge clear come out for the last 30 seconds from the side of Burnett, as we saw Jersey Boy racing in there. Don Jimenez can't quite play it off the walls. The ball right bounces over him. Tried to pass it back over to Seamess. Still has not found a way to get rid of it, but now A-Train and the Big Kaiser run into each other. That should buy enough time. Baller, the last man of defense. They'll go racing after it and finally turn that ball over to the blue side.
We've got Big Kaiser now trying to get some level of control on this ball with a little bit of help of Jersey Boy. He's going to manage to clear it to the midfield with an open goal opportunity getting popped up by one of their teammates, but no one's there to follow it up. A-Train now has possession, trying to send it over to Jersey, but the ball's going to get cleared back towards their goal. Thankfully, it's going to go a little bit wide, so no shot was going to be clean. The follow-up, though, might be enough to get it in, so CM is going to give signs of life for the side of Burnett, scoring their first goal, and we still see an opportunity for this to go into overtime, possibly with the Lions still coming out on top. It's anybody's game because it is only a 1-score differential.
Not a lot of time left on the clock for Burnett if they're looking to tie it up. There's about 43 seconds here right off the kickoff. Big Kaiser's going to clear it over to the corner. Tries to play it off the wall, but lands on top of the ball. Baller will use that to pinball it over to the other side. Don Jimenez can't find it, so Jersey Boy puts it on the orange side. Huge clear by Seamess there. 30 seconds left. A-Train answers it, but Seamess keeps it alive. Now near midfield, takes a shot. Big Kaiser makes a save. A-Train just barely pushes the ball out of the way of danger.
We see Seamez now with an opportunity to get this ball into a centering shot point for their own teammates, but there isn't just not enough of a good angle there for them to follow it up. Now the ball's getting sent down to an open goal, and Jersey is going to manage to score the third goal of the game with 4 seconds remaining. I do not think Burnett's going to be able to come back from this one.
Now, unfortunately, Don Jimenez and Baller both had attempts to pick a shot. Unfortunately, they missed, and when you're pressing in rotation to try and tie the game up like that, you leave yourself up to a counterattack. We see it all the time, and now with 5 seconds left, you have to think Burnett is unfortunately not going to find a way to sweep here in the Garden State Rocket League Championship, so we'll head to a game 4 as soon as the ball, or a match 4, I should say, as soon as the ball touches the ground, and it will right there, so Thorn will pick up the victory. Don't forget that Boise State Esports is always looking for talented players, production, and broadcasters. Top talent, along with good grades and eligibility, can earn scholarships as well. Sign up today by visiting boisestate.edu/esports for more information. It's the Garden State Rocket League Championships here between Burnett Middle School and Thorn Middle School. If you are just joining us, a little bit different than your traditional Rocket League format. It is Conquest, where we will play up to a total of 5 different best of 3s, with each team bringing a potential different roster, allowing up to 15. Looks like Thorn maybe only has 2. We've now seen their first squad twice. We'll see if Burnett now comes back with their first squad or if they have a 4th squad as well. Do get a little bit of information about Burnett, who currently leads the series 2-1. The Barbarians name chosen by the students, funded as a school-wide Title I program. They're looking to expand the esports program with more machines. They have a dedicated space created in the building as part of the program. The students probably are very excited, I'm sure, to be able to enter the gaming arena when they return to school. I mean, I don't know if it matches this one, but anytime you get to go in and go to your arena, I mean, go, play in your home stadium in football or soccer, play in your home court. Anytime you have your dedicated home space, Nerdy, I think you can attest, it just feels different when you're able to play in that.
It is different.
We must defend this house, as the famous Under Armour commercials go, and of course it's incredible support from parents, teachers, faculty, and especially Mr. Dave Shaw, the principal at Burnett, that has allowed this program to flourish. We hop right into game 4, and it looks like Burnett's coming with a whole new roster. Here's Blue from map 2, and he'll get one in, and Thorn has the lead.
I'm gonna make an observation here, and that's the pace of this match already seems to be much higher than those first couple of matches that we were watching. I don't know what these players ate, what they drank between these rounds, but this is completely different than what we first saw. As that first 50-50 ball is going to be won by Freezy Fridge. We do recognize them. Good to see you again, Freezy. Thank you for not changing your name once again. They're still maintaining a level of side control over here. The ball is going to finally be cleared over onto the blue side, but Freezy still maintaining possession, playing the ball off the wall to themselves.
It's just Gabe not able to find anything, as we see Burnett now with their 4th unique roster, which is really impressive to have 12 talented Rocket League players. I mean, at any given time, just absolutely insane. As MC Sprite is trying to put something on the back of the net, not able to find it. Snow Eagle's going to be able to clear that one away. And it looks like Blue's going to clear it down. Oh, great play here. It's just Gabe got to make one. Blue just misses, and MC Sprite's able to make a great save.
Now we've got MC Sprite with some ball possession. However, it's going to get there's going to be a stagnation here at the mid. We got Jazz trying to get some ball possession, but it isn't going to quite have enough control in order to maintain it.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Jazz 24. That is probably one of my favorite names of all time. So I'm definitely rooting for him, because that is just a great name to be able to pull off. As right now, Freezy Fridge going to miss on it. Jazz and MC Sprite going to run into each other, unfortunately, and Burnett will have to retreat. We have seen a lot of double commits and almost bumper car level play from time to time from both these sides here throughout the night. And it rears its ugly head once again.
We've got Snow Eagle with us sending the ball over to one of their teammates, Freezy Bridge in the corner, but MC Sprite's going to manage to clear the ball to the mid. It's just Gabe now has ball possession in the corner. Is going to play it off the wall to himself, but is going to miss that second touch to get that goal-scoring opportunity, unfortunately. So they're going to have to retreat now, as we see Jazz trying to get into the goal to prevent an open goal opportunity for the side of the Lions.
Oh, this could be an open goal for the Barbarians. No! Two of them miss on it. Oh, no. A perfect opportunity for Burnett to tie the game, and it just goes to waste. But we'll see if they can rally. You can make that happen. You can make it happen again. It's just Gabe comes racing in. Blue's not able to find it. MC Sprite going to center it in there. Freezy Fridge pops it up in the air, but the ball's still alive for Burnett on the blue side of the map. Freezy Fridge going to try and play it off the wall. Bails on that one. Allows It's Just Gabe. Play it off the wall nicely, but a good clear there from Snow Eagle. MC Sprite can't quite find it at midfield. Jazz.
Ooh, are you going to be able to play it off the wall to yourself, Jazzy? No, unfortunately you will not, as MC Sprite's going to manage to get the follow-up on that one. We've got Snow Eagle, who's trying to determine whether or not they need to rotate or go after this ball, and they're deciding to stay at the midfielders. We've got 2 players from the side of Burnett taking the ball up the field. Just Gabe is waiting by the goal to make sure that there isn't an open goal for his own team. As we see MC Sprite trying to make sure that they have an opportunity to get a goal-scoring shot off. Gabe, however, is not going to maintain that ball possession, and Snow Eagle's going to just barely slow down enough to try and play this ball off the wall.
Oh, great opportunity there. Burnett hesitated just a little bit. Snow Eagle sees an open net. He'll bump it down. Can he play it to himself off the wall? Oh, tried to bait out Jazz, but he wasn't able to, and he runs into Blue on the retreat. Gets up an opportunity here for It's Just Gabe. He'll hit it down into the corner. Freezy Fridge not able to get it all the way out from his own side. MC Sprite takes a nice little shot, but Blue with a great save.
Freezy Fridge now has possession of this ball down into the corner, but they don't quite have enough to maintain it, as Sprite's going to manage to come in and bump it back into the corner, playing it off the wall. Freezy Fridge is looking for an opportunity to get a clean clear. One of his teammates manages to do it, as we see MC Sprite trying to race Freezy to get to this ball. It is now in front of the orange goal, but Sprite's going to get that clear. It's going to get popped high into the air, with Freezy Fridge still not letting up on this attack, trying to maintain that possession.
Oh, shot from Snow Eagle off the crossbar. Can't have the follow-up. MC Sprite's going to center it, but there's 2 members of Thorn waiting right there. And now It's Just Gabe has it in the corner. Got Snow Eagle to beat. 30 seconds left to try and get us to overtime here! And MC Sprite gets the game tied.
All right, are we going to see a kickoff goal to be the one that comes out on top from either team to prevent us from going into overtime.
Ooh, that's tough. We've only seen a couple of kickoffs. They haven't been too noteworthy, so I'll say no.
And no.
So see, Snow Eagles able to keep it alive.
The Snow Eagles got some great pressure happening right here on the side of Burnett. If Blue can manage to get a centering shot in on an open goal, they might have the opportunity to prevent overtime from happening, but 2 seconds left. I don't think they're going to stop the ball from hitting the ground, and we are now at golden goal opportunity for either side.
First kickoff, everybody goes racing in. Ball just on that Blue side. It's just Gabe. Great chance.
It's just Gabe finally showing off a little bit.
That ball took a weird bounce off of Blue. I'm glad we get this angle. Oh, he just missed on it. I was going to say, it looked like he took a weird bounce, but unfortunately just couldn't get there in time. What a shot from It's Just Gabe. And now Burnett is 1 game away from being your Garden State Rocket League champions.
But it's still anybody's game.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty close. It felt like, for the most part, Thorn had the advantage. So I would definitely say maybe like 55-45. I feel like I'd be confident Thorn forces us into a game 3.
Yeah, I can agree with that one.
Which, if we get to a game 5, we can assume we'll see the first squad for Thorn once again. Seems like they have 6 players. Not sure if Brunett's going to have an entirely new squad or if they will go back to their first squad. As we've talked about, they're allowed to play 15 players. If they don't, they just have to repeat them in a way that makes it so everyone plays an even amount. So you can't go A, B, A. You go A, B, A, B. You go A, B, C, D, A. But as long as everyone gets a chance to play, I think it's a great format here, especially at the middle school level, to just encourage everyone to get involved. Because you never know. I mean, the story goes, Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. So you never know if by giving that one extra slot to somebody, if they could turn out to be the next Rocket League star because they find a passion for the game. So I really do love this format here as we kick off in game number 2 of match 4. It's just Gabe, the hero, from game number 1. Hits it down into the corner. Can't quite find it. MC Sprite's going to play it off the back wall. It's just Gabe with a nice shot.
I think It's Just Gabe woke up a little bit after the first couple minutes of that first round.
You see Jazzy Jazz was in great position as well. Had that ball bounce off the crossbar. Sometimes, whoever scores the goal, just in the right rotation. And Jazzy Jazz was there for the follow-up in case it missed off the crossbar. So I do like that everybody in on that play. Thorn now going to start pressing a little bit here, knowing that their championship lives could be over in 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Freezy Fitch and Blue just going to miss. MC Sprite going to take it down into the corner. Jazzy Jazz, and it's just Gabe setting up near midfield. Oh, that shot just barely misses.
Oh, but we did have MC with the follow-up, but they just barely missed it on their elevation. The ball's now going to be on the orange side with It's Just Gabe trying to get in there, preventing it from going into the goal. MC Sprites managed to rotate back into the goal, so now they can, rotate a little bit differently, organize things up, but Snow Eagle is going to get a clean shot in, and now it is back to a 1-1 game for both sides, and it could go either way at this point.
Yeah, you had Freezy Fridge coming in as well. Just an open net there, and Thorn doing a good job of capitalizing on that. Rocket League chat, one of my favorite chats of all time, because everything, you don't have time to type in this game like you might in League of Legends, so you just have to use the presets, and I love some of the reactions that they have. Big Sprite takes a shot on net. Oh, Freezy Fridge with a nice pop. Oh, huge save by It's Just Gabe.
Is there follow-up, though? We see Blue right there. Nope. Freezy Fridge was right there. They did not have the opportunity to take that shot. Snow Eagle is now trying to maintain some possession, but It's Just Gabe's going to get it here at the midfield, but a double commit is going to send it back to the orange side. Freezy Fridge is now going to get some easy possession, but the ball's going to get popped into the air. They're going to elevate themselves and manage to knock it back over to the corner past 2 members of the side of Burnett, leaving It's Just Gabe here to clean things up as they have a double commit coming out from the Lions on them.
Oh, It's Just Gabe makes a nice save against Freezy Fridge with the ball still in front of his net. Nick Sprite that time makes one, and finally It's Just Gabe's able to clear it away, and now he has an opportunity. Oh, unfortunately could not pop it over. Jazzy Jazz couldn't find it. It's Freezy Fridge able to clear that one. MC Sprite can't quite clear it down. Snow Eagle, can he play the follow-up off the wall? Not quite.
We've got Freezy Fridge, though, with their sights set on this ball, rotating towards the outer edge, seeing if one of their teammates can get it cleared to them. They aren't going to manage to do that. MC Sprite's going to get booped away in the direction of the ball itself, and also managed to deflect a shot on goal from Jazzy Jazz at the midfield. Freezy Fridge is now going to have an opportunity to take a shot, but it's going to get blocked and sent over to one of their teammates in the corner, Blue, but MC Sprite's going to swoop in and manage to snag that ball, trying to play it here off the corner.
Ball just barely makes it around. It's just Gabe. Oh, Freezy Fridge played that one perfectly. MC Sprite thought he had a wedge set up, and it just got pinched off him just perfectly by Freezy Fridge.
I think that bounced off MC Sprite just a tiny bit there, too, and Freezy Fridge shot that clear shot down to the other goal. That's always a painful moment. But we've got 2.5 minutes still remaining, and it's anybody's game as this first 50-50 ball goes in favor of Freezy Fridge, managing to knock it down into the corner, but it's now in sights of Gabe as well as one of Gabe's teammates. And Gabe's going to pop it over one of the Blue players, leaving Blue left alone at the goal with a very little boost in their reservoir to take care of the onslaught coming out from Burnett right now.
No! Slow rolls in. It's just Gabe finds a way to tie this game. We'll get it from his perspective. Oh, it's an own goal. I was like, when is he going to take the shot?
Gabe just gets to watch the shot happen.
He just gets to watch the shot. I think a triple commit came out. Triple commits come out. Crazy things usually happen. It's just Gabe goes boom on the kickoff. Ball still near midfield, and now Snow Eagle's going to be able to clear that one down. Another demolition onto It's Just Gabe, not able to play the game. A huge job by McSprite clearing it down. Blue's not able to handle it. Ball just take kind of a funky hump off the back of the car. And now we see Burnett has to retreat to make sure they don't allow the go-ahead goal in.
We've got MC Sprite with a great clear over to the side. However, it's going to be followed up by Snow Eagle with possession in the corner. So MC is going to have to dribble it around them. So we see It's Just Gabe swooping in, taking the ball away in the air, dribbling it past two of the members of the Lions for their second goal, leaving them with a 3-2 score differential now.
All of the pressure now shifts to Thorn.
Oh my goodness.
That was a great goal by It's Just Gabe. He
my goodness, Gabe.
Been the hero. If we have an Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game, It's Just Gabe is definitely playing his way into that conversation. But as we were saying, there's 1 minute and 20 seconds left here. If Brunett's able to hold on, they will be your champions. So now it's Thorn's turn to push. Oh, Snow Eagle!
Oh, the equalizer with just 1 minute and 10 seconds left. It's now anybody's game. Basically 0-0 goal scoring goals right now across the board for everybody. It's Just Gabe was right there. Didn't quite get high enough to tip the ball out of that goal scoring position. They're probably reeling a little bit from that as this 50-50 goes in favor of the Lions, but It's Just Gabe's gonna grab it off the wall, sending it down to the midfield, and it's gonna get popped high into the air and sent to an open goal, leaving MC Sprite in reverse trying to catch up to the ball, but It's Just Gabe's gonna fly right over their teammate and knock it back to the mid.
Oh, It's Just Gabe. He's been the hero so far. All 3 goals. He even has 3 save medals as well. Doing a really good job keeping Burnett with a chance here to finish things off in game number 4. Freezy Fridge in blue. Now going to knock it down into the corner. It's Just Gabe will pass it right back. Snow Eagle does a nice job, though, pivoting it off the wall. McSprite will ricochet towards midfield. Oh, double commit comes out. Jazzy Jazz got to get in, retreat here quickly. He's not going to be able to find it. Snow Eagle with the hat trick. To put Thorn up 1 with 25 seconds left.
That's never how you want to see a goal scored on an wide open net for your own team. But 1 goal is nothing in the realm of Rocket League when you have 30 seconds on the board. It could be just enough for an equalizer goal to come out for the side of Burnett, as we see Freezy Fridge with the ball down here in the corner with a triple commit coming out for the side of Burnett right now. The ball's going to get cleared wide of the net over towards the left side. Freezy Fridge still has some great possession with very little pressure on them, as Snow Eagle's going to come up and boot the ball over to the corner on the side of Orange.
6 seconds left. See if Burnett can carry it the length of the field. Oh, they just miss on it. That's going to allow the ball to touch the ground. And Thorn It's going to force us into a game number 3. Don't forget that the Idaho Army National Guard, who presents the top 5 plays at the end of every broadcast, invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs, offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out on Twitch at iGuardGaming. It is the Garden State Rocket League Championships here between Burnett Middle School and Thorne Middle School. Burnett right now leading the overall series 2-1. We're heading to game 3 in match number 4, Nerdy. And right now, it's just Gabe, McSprite, and Jazzy Jazz had him on the ropes there, but it was a great answer by Thorne to get the game-tying goal and the go-ahead goal in the final minute and a half.
I'm not going to lie, it really seemed like Thorne was just kind of going after It's Just Gabe for a solid 90 seconds of that round, where we just saw, like, I think 3 demolitions at least come out onto Gabe, like back to back to back to back. And I totally understand demolitions do play into this game to some extent, but you also got to keep in mind that when you're on the offensive and you just demoed one of the defensive players, it spawns them right in front of the goal. So you got to keep that information running in your head, because demoing someone may not always play in your favor.
Kickoff game number 3 here. You said if Burnett wins, they'll be the champions. If Thorne wins, we're headed to a match number 5. See who is the victor. As Freezy Fridge plays that one off the wall. MC Sprite waiting for a chance to strike. Can't quite find it as Snow Eagle's able to clear it down. MC Sprite kind of double taps into a wall there. Does not hit the ball where he wants, but It's Just Gabe's going to say, all right, you know what, I'll clear it away from my own goal. Like that play right there. And gets the demo onto Freezy Fridge. Really good job by him. And now It's Just Gabe has a chance here in the corner, but Blue's going to be able to contest.
Blue's going to pop the ball pretty high in the air, but thankfully Snow Eagle's going to manage to swoop in and grab that ball away from their teammate. But with the shot on goal, Snow Eagle's going to manage to score the first goal in this match.
You see here, MC Sprite double taps it off the wall. Snow Eagle takes the shot, and they're racing back. Just cannot quite find it. Got to have somebody back in that net. It's not always the hero role, but the goalie can sometimes be the unsung hero, and it's not always the fun role if your team has a lot of pressure. See a nice pass down to Jazzy Jazz, but it gets intercepted there by Freezy Fridge. And Snow Eagle's not able to beat MC Sprite to the ball. Tried to pass towards midfield to It's Just Gabe, but he wasn't able to find it.
We've got Freezy Fridge with some level of possession happening now at the midfield, but their teammate elevating, barely missing the ball, and It's Just Gabe's finally going to get their first goal in this round.
Looks like, unfortunately, that ball's just going to hit off the nose of Snow Eagle and right into the back of the net. Can happen in Rocket League. That ball can move so fast. You mentioned, Nerdy, that Blue missed the save, so you don't think the ball is going to be where it is when you turn around. Just an unfortunate turn of events for Thorne. But still plenty of time here in this match number 3. Is that shot? Oh, just off to the left.
We've got MC Sprite now looking to try and get it clear up the field. They managed to do that, playing it off the wall to their own teammate. It's Just Gabe's going to be there for the follow-up, scoring a second goal. Now we've got a 1-score lead for the side of Burnett, but we've got over 2 minutes remaining, so it's still anybody's game.
So we see nice little play there by It's Just Gabe. Like I said, he is definitely challenging, I guess, his teammate, Alkaline, for potentially the Idaho Central Credit Union Player of the Night, if we do have that, because he has been absolutely incredible for Brunette. As Freezy Fridge going to try and center it, not able to find it. Blue's able to pass it down, but unfortunately he can't find it. Snow Eagle can't find the clear. Freezy Fridge will, though. And Thorne right now needs to make sure they don't fall into a 2-goal hole, because that can be very hard to climb back out of.
We've got It's Just Gabe doing some fancy aerial play, sending the ball down to the Blue goal, but Blue is there knocking it back over to the right side of the field. But there isn't just not enough follow-up from their team to maintain possession, so Freezy Fridge is now going to have to dribble around 3 of the members of Burnett here on the Blue side's corner. Snow Eagles going in for the clear over into an open net opportunity. If enough from the side of Burnett cannot catch up, they do, but it's not going to be enough as Freezy Fridge is managing to score that equalizer goal.
It's a great job applying constant pressure here. Also got a bit of a double. Yeah, the boop, unfortunately, was from his own teammate.
Oh, that's never fun.
No, that one was unfortunate. MC Sprite and It's Just Gabe running into each other. But the kickoff!
Yes! That is a true kickoff goal right there, coming from It's Just Gabe. I feel like it was an unfortunate opportunity kickoff goal. It did bounce off one of the blue players as well, so it was minor own goal as happening too. That's okay. It's only a 1-score differential. We still have about half this round remaining.
Yeah, still plenty of time. Freezy Fridge going to win that kickoff. Into the corner. Freezy Fridge now with a chance. Waterfalls down in front of his own net, not quite able to find it. Now we see MC Sprite able to pop it away. Sandwiches it on the wall there. Him and It's Just Gabe racing down. It's Just Gabe with a chance. Oh, that's a scary spot to be if you're blue, and he makes a great save.
Now we've got Freezy Fridge with the opportunity to take this ball up to the midfield off the side. They managed to do just that, receiving the clear from MC Sprite. MC though is going to stay at the midfield trying to support It's Just Gabe, who now just has to dribble past one of the members of the Lions in order to score this goal. And with follow-up from Sprite, they will do just that.
Great job on the team play there by It's Just Gabe. Thought he had his own follow-up. You see the double commit come out. So close. Unfortunately, not quite able to find it. And now that's going to put Burnett in a 2-goal lead here. Blues waiting in the back of the net. MC Sprite can take a shot. Gets cleared away by Blue.
We've got Freezy Fridge now with some ball possession over here in the corner, but we've got a triple commit coming out from the side of Burnett to make sure that possession's not an easy one. It's Just Gabe's going to play the ball over one of the members of the Lions, managing to get the ball past the midfield point, but it's just too much as the Lions regain it and send it back, and Freezy Fridge gets that 3rd goal for this team.
Brings his team right back. Barely plays it around MC Sprite. Thorn staying alive with 1.5 minutes left on the clock as we go into the kickoff here. Oh no!
Oh, Blue,
this could
that
be
was
disaster!
a great shot.
Oh, the top crossbar makes a huge save. Blue shot just wide. And Burnett can blink for now, but there's still 1.5 minutes left. They were in this situation in game 2 and could not hold on to the lead as Blue makes a great save. Keep his team in it, going to try and carry it all the way down, loses his dribble right near the corner. Freezy Fridge coming in, but it's just Gabe makes a smart play and plays it away from his own net. We've got just 1 minute left here with a chance for Burnett to wrap this series up.
It's Just Gabe's going to try and just smack that ball into the goal, but thankfully Snow Eagle was there to send it back to the mid, leaving MC Sprite to try and fend off some of the members of the Lions. We've got the ball down in the corner, sending it to Freezy Fridge, who's going to try and center that ball, but there's none of his teammates there to follow it up.
Oh, It's Just Gabe, a great opportunity if he can get the pinch, but he can't. Snow Eagle's able to clear it down. As we mentioned, Thorn wins this. We go to game 5, match 5. Burnett wins. They're the Garden State Rocket League champions. There's 30 seconds left. You can see McSprite playing it very cautiously, but It Just Gabe with a great opportunity. Tries to dribble it home, but Blue gets a huge clear. Freezy Fridge now can wrap it around in the corner. Can McSprite make the save? For now, he can't.
We are at the 17-second mark. For the side of Burnett right now, they're just trying to not leave an open goal opportunity, maintaining possession, maintaining the momentum of this game. As we see, It's Just Gabe trying to keep this ball sandwiched up against the wall. It's going to get popped high into the air by Snow Eagle, however. So now they're on their heels trying to maintain possession. We're down to 2 seconds. That ball just got to hit the ground, and that is it for the side of Burnett, and they win. And it finally touches the ground. The Barbarians will win out that round.
Congratulations to Burnett Middle School. The Barbarians are your Garden State Rocket League champions. A 3-1 overall victory over the Thorn Middle School Lions. And what a series. I think the conquest format was really interesting. Burnett bringing 4 different teams, able to pull off the victory. We saw some great play from guys like Alkaline in the very first one, and we saw some great plays from Just Gabe in that very 4th match as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, though. I feel like having a large roster gives you a little bit more of an opportunity to kind of mix things up a bit, which in the later games will play out more for the teams that do have that more of expanded roster. But, you know, I was pleasantly surprised at the level of gameplay we saw coming out from these teams this evening, and I'm very happy to see that esports has made it this far.
Yeah, I mean, even just getting 6 talented Rocket League players like we saw from Thorn is something to be a hold of. I mean, it's just recently that Boise State was able to expand from 1 team to 2. So 2 teams is impressive just as much as 4 teams is, and a huge congratulations to Burnett. They are the champions. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Then we will come back to wrap everything up here from our Garden State Rocket League Championships. Don't go anywhere. We've got more coming after the break.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Legendary parts for legendary wins. Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Hello and welcome back in the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We just wrapped up our Garden State Rocket League Championships with Burnett Middle School taking down Thorn Middle School 3-1 in the finals. But we are not done. Fish and Nerdy teacher, leader of the Garden State's Esports organization. Chris, you're widely considered a top expert in Scholastic Esports. How did you create the Garden City Esports organization?
Well, first I got to say thank you to both of you guys. You know, this is our first full year coming out of the COVID cancellation of last year. And when, you know, I knew I wanted to do something special for these kids, Doc was the first guy I called. And I couldn't tell you just the amount of excitement over the last couple of weeks. We had these kids featured in their local newspapers. They were, being cheered on by their schools, their classmates. We've got, more than 300 people on the stream. You guys really went above and beyond to make this special for us. And I can't tell you how much that means to me, how much it means to the kids. So thank you, first of all. The esports journey for me was really interesting. I started playing competitive StarCraft when I was in 8th grade, and I always have kind of been, somebody who enjoyed playing esports. But I also have a foot in the coaching world, right? I've coached and wrestled my whole life and played football. And, one thing I started to notice as esports started to grow is I have a lot of kids that I teach that would really benefit, right? Because esports is a fantastic plug-in for traditional sports, right? All the things that kids can learn around teamwork and leadership communication, all the soft skills, can be taught through esports, and it tends to draw, on the scholastic side of things, a demographic that is sometimes underserved. Maybe they're not interested in traditional sports. Maybe they don't want to get involved in clubs. Maybe they just identify as a gamer. And so being able to provide these opportunities for students is really important to me, especially when we look at programs like Boise. There's, college scholarships now. There's 195 esports programs, out there for these kids to attend. So starting that pipeline of kids getting involved in esports in middle school, through high school, and then into college is really what Scholastic Esports is all about. So, I started this program at my own school, because I coach one of the middle school teams over at Knollwood at the Fairhaven School District. I started that program 3 years ago, and at the time it was the first middle school esports team in the country. And as time went by and as I was helping all these other schools who had heard about our program get started, I decided, why don't I just make a league so that way we can make sure that esports is done right in New Jersey for kids, right? Use esports as a platform for learning. So we bring in the social emotional learning, we bring in the career and technical education, right? I'll tell both of you now, right? Kids, we have casters in our league. They're going to analyze this. Doc is filming the behind the scenes for us so they can see the production side of things. So it's really amazing that esports can provide so many opportunities for students, and that's why Garden State Esports, we're so passionate about using it as a platform to help kids grow.
So my question is more about kind of the sheer volume of players that you are handling right now. Were you surprised by the amount of participation you received from your students, or the amount of students that were interested when you first began this program?
Yes and no. I knew, more and more we're seeing students who identify as gamers, right? That's who they are. That's what they're into. And just like we support, our more traditional athletes when they say, oh, I'm a football player, I'm a baseball player. I think it's fantastic that students are, taking gaming more seriously. So where the real logistics, kind of issues come in, like you guys saw tonight, is, we have almost 100 school districts in our league, about 3,000 kids. And so you're talking about school districts of all different sizes, kids of all different skills, and like you guys correctly identified, during the broadcast, these middle school students especially, getting them involved and having them feel like they're part of something, giving them that sense of belonging, is really important. So that's why we kind of came up with this conquest format, where a full roster is actually 15, but to also accommodate, some of the smaller schools, being able to replay students once everybody on your team has played. So, there's a lot of the logistics that we have to come up with in making it a fair and fun competition, but that also gets as many kids as involved as possible. Because that's really what we're going for, is we want kids involved. We want them, in school. We want them excited to go to school. We want them to be a part of a team. And so, this is kind of the best format that we found so far. A little bit tricky to cast and to explain, but you guys did fantastic, and it's been wonderful.
I would say I love the format. I think it's awesome. I think you were the guy who, from my understanding, who created it. So big props to you, because I would have never thought of that in a million years. I love that. Now, I do want to ask you, and you might have to get a little bit negative here. I came from a more traditional sports world. When Boise State had an esports program, reception was some good and some really, really bad. So how was this received in the community when you made this first middle school esports program?
So, it's really interesting is the people who get it, you know what I mean? And they're so excited about it and they see the possibilities. You're looking at a player like Uwu that you saw, is an incredibly talented player. I can tell you that his parents, talking to his coach, right, his coach Eric Church over in the Union School District, he tells me that his parents are so supportive and do everything they can to encourage their child to be the best that he can be, to go out and chase the scholarships and chase the opportunities out there for him. And so parents like that, they get it. Administrators, boards of ed, and teachers like that, they get it. And then you have some, despite their research and everything else, believe that, violent video games cause violent kids. And, they see no future. They see no purpose to any of this. And those obvious stakeholders are hard to convince, but it's those ones in the middle that I focus on. And the way that I've been able to win over those kind of folks that are on the fence is telling them that esports can be used again, is a platform to teach kids the things that we want them to know. So tell me all those things that you are worried about. We hear things about screen time. We hear things about, they're worried about the kids being sedentary. They're worried about the kids, not making any friends. Well, part of, what Garden State Esports does, and part of what, you maybe don't see when you're just looking at the competition side of things, we have social emotional learning curriculum, right, that focuses on the performance triad and how diet, sleep, and exercise affect performance, not just in video games, right, but also, in school. And we do things like tie when appropriate behavior and attendance and grades to being eligible for a team, just like traditional athletics. And so you can leverage esports in very similar ways that you can leverage traditional sports. And that's been the biggest thing that has won over those folks that are kind of on the fence, is helping them understand how we can use esports, right? Like all good teaching, we can take what kids love and use it to teach them what we want them to know. And so that's really been the focus of our program is, we take our advocates and we do our best, to have them work with us and amplify what we're doing. And those that don't get it, maybe they'll come around one day, but it's those on the fence that we really spend our time as educators and at Garden State Esports chasing, because once we convince them, right, the rest of the folks are going to come along too, right, as that wave topples and everybody gets on.
So the one thing that you brought up here is like those really supportive parents, and I coming from a traditional athletic background, just like Fish, I had those super duper supportive parents as well. But my question for you now is, so we don't get to see the spectators in this type of sport, but you do, as the coach, get to receive a level of feedback from those spectators. I hope, at least. I mean, I know Doc for a fact does receive a level of feedback as we are live right now. Have you received the feedback you're receiving? Are you getting a lot of people reaching out to want to help your program, or are you just kind of getting excitement? Has there been anything that has opened up because of the amount of attention that your program is getting?
Yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic. So, for those that want to learn more about the Scholastic Esports community, right, following the hashtag esportsedu on social media, you will meet educators who live in this world, whether they're middle school coaches or they're high school coaches or, even involved in the college and the pro scene. The community, like you guys know, is so supportive. And so like you saw in some of the color, that you guys were doing, Burnett Middle School is the first school funded by Title I money here in New Jersey, and possibly, as far as I could tell, in the nation. So, that was a whole host of stakeholders at that district that had to go out on a limb and convince, government officials, their Board of Education, the Department of Education, that esports has enough of value that it deserves to be funded, through Title I funding. And so those are the types of opportunities we're trying to provide. We're getting people to realize. Obviously, you all at Boise have been wonderful to us, and Doc and everybody is so supportive. So, we do get tons of feedback from those who are maybe a bit more in the professional scene, the collegiate scene. They love what we're doing at Garden State Esports. And then, I can talk to you all night about just the emails and the letters that I receive from parents. Because, what we're seeing a lot in the Scholastic Esports space is the kids that are kind of drawn to this, right, are generally underserved. A lot of students may be on the spectrum or too small for traditional sports, or they may have a learning or physical disability. And esports really is a fantastic way to get kids involved. It really is pretty equitable from the who can be involved side. And so it's been great. And to give you kind of maybe a little behind the scenes, we do actually have a lot of parents come in, because what we'll do is, Burnett will play in their middle school and Thorne will play in their middle school, but in the library, they're projecting the Twitch stream while the kids cast the match. Kids and parents will come, after school, and they will watch the esports match in the school library, just like they would go watch a basketball match, basketball game. And so, that's been really special in my own team. But also, hearing stories from around the league, this is the first time that parents have been able to come out and cheer on their kids. And I personally had grandparents fly in from Georgia to see kids on my team play because they had never had an opportunity like that. And so again, obviously hats off to Burnett for winning a state championship. But for me, I want to use esports as a platform. Like I want to do everything else in education, and that is to make these kids better people for having gone through this program. And that's really what I'm passionate about.
Talking to Chris Aviles. He is the teacher and leader of Garden State's esports organization. We'll get you out of here on this, Chris. You talked about how many students are overall involved. What kind of games? I mean, you've referenced, multiple games. What other games do they have in Garden State's esports? And then, you can also maybe highlight some of the other outstanding leaders that you had that have allowed this to grow so successfully.
Yeah. So we try to offer a variety of games. We try to be as equitable as possible. So we do... We have our Fortnite friendlies because it's a free-to-play game, can be played mobile. That gets a lot of kids involved. We also do Brawlhalla for the same reasons. But then we also try to mirror what we see at the collegiate level, right? Where are the scholarships? What are the games being played? So we do Rocket League as our sports game. We have Overwatch as our first-person shooter. And then we're trying to figure out what to do exactly with the MOBA, just because of the way that Riot has positioned the ability for scholastic educators to play League of Legends. So we're trying to fill that gap, and hopefully that's something that they would take into consideration, what they're doing with League, and allow us, grassroots organizations to run events around League of Legends, which we currently cannot. But I obviously have to thank my team. Everybody on my team is a classroom educator like myself. The vice president of the organization was also the coach for Thorn tonight, Regina Schaefer, my vice president. I couldn't do it without her. Thank you to the rest of the team, Dr. Matt Strobel, and the social emotional learning team that we put together that helps us, infuse SEL into our curriculum. Thank you to everybody in the Garden State Esports community. We have one of the most loving, caring, helpful Discords, and it's fantastic just to see the community grow and the way they support each other. And to everybody else in New Jersey who wants to get involved, please come to gsesports.org and register and join the almost 100 districts that are, making scholastic esports meaningful in New Jersey. And again, thank you to Doc Haskell, thank you to Boise, Fish, and Nerdy. You really made our first state championship something special. So I could not thank you all enough, and you've made a lot of kids very happy. So thank you for that.
It was a ton of fun, Chris. I cannot wait. I mean, assuming I still get my job, you said you have middle school casters, so now I have to be worried about my own job. But assuming that I don't get replaced by one of your guys, we would love to have you back. It was so much fun. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you. We will definitely be back.
It's just a ton of fun, Nerdy, to learn about that program. And the fact that middle school esports is just huge, that's absolutely wild to me. 3,000 kids? That's crazy. That's insane, and they already have casters. I'm like, all right, I'm not worried. I'm not on the stage, all right, Caso, Baynock, they've got to be worried. Now I have to be worried about my own job.
Yep, our jobs are on the line.
That was absolutely crazy. Well, let's get to the ICCU player of the game here. Brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union. Alkaline, a top performer. It's just Gabe, a top performer, but there were a ton of great players on both sides, so usually they only have to pick between 6 players. They got to pick between 20 now. I feel bad for production.
Yeah, I mean, we get to make a guess over here, but in my mind I was like, good luck, production.
Yeah, I don't pity them when it's Overwatch and it's 12 players they have to pick from, or even 13 if there's a sub. But now just the sheer volume of players we saw tonight, absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, they all had moments where you're like, okay, you know what? I can see how this player could develop. Because remember, these are middle schoolers. They're going to get better. Maybe. Esports is like the one game where you hit 15 and then you get worse somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing against the players. That's just, something that I've noticed. It's like, I have never been as good at Call of Duty as I was when I was 18 in high school. But, maybe I just had more time on my hands. I don't know.
It's the sophomore year of high school that does you in.
So just absolutely incredible performances throughout the night here. It was a ton of fun. In the Garden State Rocket League Championships, as we heard, it was a 3-1 victory for Brunette. So just an awesome event, really, overall, Nerdy. And do you have any final thoughts on what we saw tonight?
My final thoughts, honestly, are just keep having fun. you have a program that does not exist in a lot of other places. I mean, this is the first I've ever heard about a middle school esports league, especially one that expanded within the amount of time that this one did. I mean, it's been roughly 3 years, but to have over 100 schools, over 3,000 students participating, that is huge. So, keep doing what you're doing, keep loving the game, keep playing, keep practicing. Don't focus on the final outcome of everything, but focus on the process of getting there.
Let's find out who our player of the game is going to be. And tough choices. Alkaline, though. I mean, probably the best performer. I think it's just Gabe.
We actually have pictures for these guys.
Well, he is a Twitch streamer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that actually makes sense because it was TV. Yeah.
I actually looked it up to see if he was live during the event. He was practicing some of his solo goals, maybe warming up for a match 5 potentially. So huge shout out to Alkaline as our Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. But like I said, all of these players in some case probably had a player or two that deserved it. I mean, it's just Gabe. Him and Alkaline definitely heroes of the team. It's just Gabe. Huge clutch in match number 4 to prevent it going to a match 5. But the Idaho Central Credit Union believes that a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping their members achieve financial success. Alkaline is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game for the Garden State Rocket League Championships. And we only saw him a couple of times in our first match of the night, but he definitely left a memory on how good he's going to be. And assuming he doesn't change his name, because Rocket League's one of those where your name doesn't always follow you, that's a name you want to watch out for in 4 to 5, 6, 7-ish years, depending on where he is in middle school.
Wow, okay, so when I'm 30, I need to be looking out for these kids that were casting this match. Oh my goodness. I am old. This makes me feel very old. I love it and I hate it at the same time.
I mean, you know what? If there's more of these kids coming in, as long as those young casters don't steal my job, I'll be here forever. So that's all I care about. But we are now going to wrap up tonight's event, and we will leave you with the Idaho Army National Guard's top 5 plays. Don't forget the Idaho Army National Guard invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out on Twitch at iGuardGaming, and here are the Garden State Rocket League Championship top 5 plays. Championships between Burnett Middle School and Thorne Middle School. The Barbarians picking up the first series with a win over the Lions in a 2-1
goal scoring opportunity, unfortunately, so they're going to have to retreat now as we see Jazzy Jazz trying to get into the goal to prevent an open goal opportunity for the side of the Lions.
Oh, this could be an open goal for the Barbarians. No! 2 of them miss on it. Oh, no. A perfect opportunity for Burnett to tie the game.
Trying to send it over to Jersey, but the ball's going to get cleared back towards their goal. Thankfully, it's going to go a little bit wide, so no shot was going to be clean. The follow-up, though, might be enough to get it in, so CM is going to give signs of life for the side of Burnett, scoring their first goal, and we still see an opportunity for this to go into overtime, possibly with the Lions still coming out on top. It's anybody goal, but there is still an opportunity to see this go into overtime.
6 seconds, or 24 seconds left, excuse me. Freezy Frog. Oh! That might end it, though, with a great sort of kickoff goal, we'll call it.
Yeah, I'm going to call that a kickoff goal. I do not believe the opportunity for a double equalizer goal is
into each other, and what would have been a great opportunity to keep Thorne alive in this one. Instead, the ball ends up on their own side. It's shaky. Double clutches, and it does not matter. He's got a hat trick, and this is a clear win for Brunette. Time just has to tick down.
Unfortunately, I do not see the odds in their favor being able to score 4 goals in less than a minute, especially with the
barely able to clear it down, but it's shaky. He's going to keep it alive. Triple commit once again comes out from Thorne. They still have not found a clear as Tito's going to put it in for the second goal.
Now we've got equal signs of life showing from both teams, in my opinion. However, for the side of the Lions,